Warm in the afternoon, high 71. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's cloudy and 37 degrees right now. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
From our family at Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation to yours. Happy holidays.
You want to hurry this up, Mark? I'm freezing my baguettes off.
Relax, Grandpa. Air Comfort Service is on their way. Aubrey, you're not doing anything. You want to let me know when they get here?
Honey, her eyes are frozen shut. Plus,
Avoid a 5-alarm emergency with an HVAC system check from Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Learn more at aircomfortservice.com.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors, The Chris and Amy Show.
You know who it is.
Also, if you didn't know, this is called the show.
On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Good morning, friends. Here we go. Amy Marks Kors, Chris Ranji, till 12 o'clock today. But pretty much every day. Unless Amy has somewhere to be, and then we just stop the show early.
Aww.
Usually at like 11:33. That's not true. That never happens. Gas House Gang at 12 o'clock today. So good morning to all of you. Visit with us, 314-436-7900. Voice messages, leave those on the Odyssey app. And if you'd like to watch this show as it's on TV or something, you can do that with YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. We're at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
Another domino has fallen in the Cardinals offseason. They did, in fact, make another trade. This time, they have sent Wilson Contreras to the Boston Red Sox. We will talk about that with Matt Pauley at 10:30 today.
And longtime KSDK News anchor Mike Bush has announced his retirement. He will be retiring in August 2026. He joins us this morning at 11:30.
And the Blues will play tonight. They've got the Tampa Bay Lightning. That game is at 6 o'clock. We'll keep an eye on it. And hope the Blues really start to take off here. Because it's not like they're so far out of it they can't make a little run here. But they've just played pretty poorly so far this year. At any rate, it is Amy and me today. We will have Mike Bush, as she said. Maury Brown is with Forbes, and we're going to talk to him at 10 o'clock about the FanDuel Sports Network situation. You may have heard the news yesterday that the network itself is on the verge of potentially going belly up unless they are bought out by a network called DAZN. It is spelled DAZN. You've probably seen the logo before. And if they don't buy it, then they go belly up, and then the Cardinals have to figure out how games are going to be on TV in 2026. And there are a couple of different options, one of them being MLB Network or Major League Baseball taking it over and doing it that way. But so there's a lot up in the air as it comes to that. We'll talk to Maury Brown about that. Andrew Egger, White House correspondent for the Bulwark, will be with us at 11 today. So a lot to discuss. And yeah, the Cardinals have made another deal. So we've all been sort of waiting for Brendan Donovan to get traded and wondering about Nolan Arenado. Are they going to find a place for him? But the one guy that I kept going back to, and some of us did, was it's Contreras. I mean, think about him. He should have some interest from around the league because he's been pretty darn good here. And he sort of gets lost in the shuffle a little bit, but he's been a pretty good hitter. And he's done everything the Cardinals have asked him to do. He moved to a different position. You know, they didn't like the way he was calling games or catching games when they first acquired him. And so they take him out of the position at least for a little bit, and then they put him back into it and never complained. And so the Cardinals did find a landing spot for him. They've again dealt with the Boston Red Sox, and they get 3 young pitchers in return. So far it's pretty clear the Cardinals just want young pitching. That's not all they want, but they are focusing on it right now. So another trade made.
Yeah, not the most important point here, but is it fair to say that Wilson Contreras is a trooper?
He's an absolute trooper.
I think he is. I mean, it's not that easy of a task to switch from catcher to an infield position. And so I think there are moments in sports where you see teammates become just putting the team first. This is a hockey analogy, but back in 2019, Jake Allen, he was the starter. But when Jordan Binnington came up, got hot, was playing so well, Jake Allen didn't complain. He supported Jordan Binnington and knew that he had lost his net to Jordan Binnington, but it was for the greater good. I don't know. It seems that Contreras is a trooper in this sense.
He absolutely is. And I don't think we gave him enough credit for the time he was here. And a lot of that has to do with the fact the team hasn't really been good. If it were a good team and it were winning, we probably would have paid more attention to what he was doing and his contributions, but it just didn't work out that way. So wishing him the best, truly am, because I think he's from all accounts, everybody I've ever heard from, even from his time with the Cubs, he's been a really good teammate. So we'll see what happens now as the Cardinals are trying to rebuild.
Well, speaking of the Cardinals rebuilding and the Cardinals struggling, we've talked about the impact that the Cardinals on-field performance has on downtown businesses. And you probably saw over the weekend that the Wheelhouse, the 3 a.m. club, right? 3 a.m. club downtown? Yeah, near the ballpark. It's
a block away.
It's closing.
Yeah.
Which I'm way too old for the Wheelhouse, so I haven't been to the Wheelhouse in a long time. But it was one of the places that young people could go, or anybody could go, downtown after ball games, late at night. I laughed because I was talking to my 23-year-old hairstylist. I sounded like I was 100. Because I asked her, so where do the kids hang out these days, Deerbergs? And the Wheelhouse was one of their go-to. She and a bunch of her friends live in and around Ballpark Village. And it feels like this is a big hit since there aren't that many establishments to choose from anyway. Ballpark Village already lost its Starbucks, too.
It did lose a Starbucks. I don't really understand what happened
there,
but a coffee shop opened up in the same area in One Cardinal Way. It's in the bottom floor. I forgot what it's called, but there is a coffee shop
area,
there.
But not that exact footprint.
Not that exact spot. It's right there where the condo building is on that property.
So the Wheelhouse, do you think it's the Cardinals' performance? I mean,
I
don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what it was like. I hadn't been in there in a pretty long time, so I'm not sure what the crowd was. But we also, I don't know if we mentioned it on this show last week, but it was about a week or so ago that another place, it's about a 2-block walk or so, maybe 3 blocks, just south of the ballpark. It's called Honky Tonk. It's a place that it's got a lot of live country music. Pretty much every night there's live country music there. Well, they are shuttering at the end of this month. I want to say the 27th or 28th. And their owner, one of their 2 owners, made an Instagram post, and he was talking about the challenges of what they were doing. They didn't charge a cover, even though they had live music, and that's pretty standard if there's a live band that a bar will charge a cover. But one of the things he said was, the Cardinals' foot traffic is down, and people would park in the general area where that bar is, or they would park over by Wheelhouse. And it has to at least be part of the issue that there just aren't as many people going to baseball games the last couple of years. We've seen the lowest ever attendance in the ballpark and the record being broken, like 2 or 3 times this past year. And so when you have an environment like that, and I know there are other options close to where Wheelhouse is, there's the Midwestern, which is like 1 block closer to the ballpark than where Wheelhouse is. Not like it's far. I mean, you can walk there in 30 seconds, but that is also another late night spot. Maybe that's taking some business away. I mean, there could be a bunch of different factors, but the reality is if the teams downtown aren't doing well and aren't drawing people into the city, you're going to have some of these places that struggle. Businesses do rely on teams being good. I would imagine the same thing's true for Patios, which is right there in the shadow of the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that it wasn't that the Midwestern hurt business for Wheelhouse. It makes sense. If you're pulling from a very small number of people, sure, I would hope
Only
that...
so much to go around.
Right, but I mean, that is not very much to go around. If you have a downtown area by Busch Stadium, Ballpark Village, and you have Wheelhouse and Midwestern as late-night bars, and the crowds can only support one. And I guess, like you said, the foot traffic being down with the Cardinal games. Now, remember, the owner of Wheelhouse also had Start Bar, and that closed recently.
Right.
There was an officer-involved shooting that did kill a man at Wheelhouse earlier this year. To be honest, of all the reasons, I kind of feel like that's not why that didn't play a part in people not wanting to go to Wheelhouse. I feel like you're either someone who goes downtown or you're someone who doesn't.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think you're someone who went downtown and then goes, oh, well, after that officer-involved shooting, I'm not going down anymore.
Yeah, we have a texter here who says nobody's going downtown in general. It's not safe. Well, I disagree with that because I come downtown all the time. I'm here a lot. I've never had anything happen. Never had an issue. Never. And I know people have had their cars broken into before. And maybe I'm just lucky, but I've never had that happen. I've never felt unsafe. There's no one's ever approached me or anything weird that's been happening in my presence. And I am downtown a lot.
Yeah.
Now, I think part of that is true that a lot of people don't come downtown. That is true. But the perception that it's more dangerous than it actually is, that to me is the truth, is that its perception is worse than the actual reality because it is not as unsafe as a lot of people think it is. And if you stay away and you never come here, you wouldn't know. I mean, you can't really make a judgment unless you go and experience it for yourself.
I think I fall in the middle. I fall in the middle between the people who feel like it's so unsafe you can't ever go downtown, and because I do think it's safer than that. But I'm not where you are, where I feel safe all the time. I have been approached. We see, obviously, the stories of traffic violence. I'm almost more afraid now of traffic violence than I am of people violence. I mean, crossing the street, anytime you're, walking across the street during the day, at night, driving, I am super aware. I'm almost more afraid of vehicle violence. But I fall in between because I'm very vigilant downtown. I don't walk from here to the Blues games anymore, which I used to, when it's dark out especially. I don't do that. And I used to do that. I don't feel super comfortable doing that anymore. So I do think I fall in the middle. But the truth is, relatively speaking, when you look at restaurants, establishments closing, and the ones that are opening, it does feel like, quote unquote, nobody goes downtown compared to like a Kirkwood or Chesterfield where, my goodness, there were 5 restaurant openings in Kirkwood, right? For 1 or 2 restaurants closing downtown. And that's where I think you do see, that's why it feels like people aren't going downtown, because you hear more about places closing downtown, and then in the same story, you'll read about 5 places opening in Kirkwood.
I'm not sure what else is closed downtown.
That's a tough juxtaposition.
In terms of bars, though. Like, we're kind of talking about bars, right? And I'm not sure what else is closed other than these 2 places that we're talking about
Start
today.
Bar wasn't that a couple years ago?
I guess it's been a while.
Hooters.
Well, Hooters is closing everywhere, so that doesn't really count.
I guess my point is, though, when you don't have a ton of bars downtown, losing 2, I think, is a big deal.
Well, I mean, that's what happens. To me, again, it has a lot to do with the Cardinals not drawing crowds. I mean, if they are drawing literally half the crowd they used to, that's a lot of people not coming into the city. And this is true in a lot of cities where there are stadiums. If people are not, businesses sometimes will attach themselves to that team. So you've got Wheelhouse, you've got Honky Tonk, you have these places that are saying, we want to be close to where a ballpark is, where people are coming to. And now people are not going to that park. It's going to affect business in a huge way. Feel free to tell us what you think. 314-436-7900. Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
Mr. Robert Hyland, the general manager of KMOX Radio.
There, when we took a stand.
What happens when an irresistible force meets an immovable object? That familiar old puzzle could well be a description of the current impasse on Social Security. Our Social Security system is moving like an irresistible force toward insolvency and disaster. Congress must rally its courage and deal with the Social Security crisis head on. Strengthening Social Security is the test the new 98th Congress can't afford to fail. Thank you.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX. the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by the Polar Express at St. Louis Union Station. Get your tickets now at stlpolarexpressride.com.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet. Unlock your e-price and save. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com during the Genesis Signature Event. Based on GMA sales records for 2024. See dealer for details.
Give the best of Broadway right here in St. Louis. Muni season tickets are on sale now, just in time for the holidays. Our 2026 season includes Hairspray, Shrek the Musical, South Pacific, Disney's Newsies, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations, Meet Me in St. Louis, and Something Rotten. See all 7 shows starting at just $126. For tickets, visit muni.org.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, a board-certified OBGYN and menopause specialist. My new podcast, Unpaused, is the place for bold, unfiltered conversations about what it really takes for women to thrive in the second half of life. Every week, I sit down with medical experts, cultural icons, and powerhouse women to talk about what really matters. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Listen to and follow Unpaused with me, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, every moment with our patients is a gift. This holiday season, you can be the reason children have hope as they fight serious illness and reach milestones once thought impossible. Your gift provides life-saving care to those who need it most. Please donate today at treeofhope.org and be the reason a child has hope for tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Ryan Recker. You may remember me from such shows as That One After the Cardinals Game, also known as Overnight America. 100 years is a great accomplishment with a lot of fantastic moments. Congrats, and here's to the memories.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 KMOX, sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers.
Ranj, I don't know if you guys talked much about the tipster who played the critical role in helping authorities catch the Brown University/MIT shooter. It's kind of interesting because it comes back to a Reddit thread. I know a lot of people who are into, like, you're either a Redditor or you're not. And a lot of people are really into Reddit, and there's like tons of junk, but you can find treasures there. So as people probably know, the 48-year-old man, the Portuguese national who is accused of shooting nearly a dozen students at Brown University, killing 2. He is also the suspect in the fatal shooting of a nuclear fusion scientist and MIT professor at his home in Brookline, Massachusetts, which is about 50 miles from Brown. This guy was on the loose for a while, and the authorities had that really, really bad kind of video picture. You couldn't tell who it was. The FBI announced that they had someone, and it was the wrong guy, which I know John Hancock talked about that with you. That's very unusual for the FBI to say, this is the guy, and then, sorry, it's not him. That's not good.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not so
good.
sure the FBI is being run well these days.
Ugh, not good. Well, so at any rate, they were starting from ground zero. So this guy known as John is the key figure who gave law enforcement the needed details. Basically, John went on Reddit and said, well, they said he blew the case open because he said, hey, there is a Nissan Sentra with Florida plates. I'm being serious. You guys need to check this out. And it was a Reddit thread. Well, John is a homeless man, and he spent time in the bathroom at Brown University. It said he encountered the suspect in the bathroom of the engineering building just hours before the attack. John noted that the suspect's clothing was, quote, inappropriate and inadequate for the weather. During the police interview, John also recognized photos of the suspect's car. So after the suspect leaves the bathroom, John ran into the guy outside. This was blocks from the building. And he saw the suspect go to a Nissan Sentra, unlock it, and then not go to the car, like act weird. And at one point, the suspect asked John, why are you following me? Because John said it became a cat and mouse. I found this guy. Now, remember, this was hours before the shooting. So there was no suspect on the loose at this point. John, the homeless guy, thought, this guy is acting super weird. He's not dressed appropriately for the weather. When he got to his car, he turned around and he's acting nervous. So anyway, then the shooting happens. Then the MIT thing happens. And John posts on Reddit, hey, this is what I saw. You guys need to check it out. The police followed up on it. They were able to find video and pictures from that time. And it was the suspect.
That's, I mean, it's incredible. And now there is a reward that's involved. It's got to go to this dude,
yeah,
right?
It's $50,000.
Does it because now the suspect's dead.
Yeah.
So does the reward still count?
I would think so. They wouldn't have found him. They found him because John posted on Reddit.
And this is a thing that I am just now in the moment wondering. Does a reward count for somebody who is on the loose because they are a danger in the moment? And that's why the money is out there as an enticement? Or is it if you've helped us solve the case in general, regardless if we find him dead or he's still out there on the loose? Doesn't matter. Because I've never heard of a situation where a reward is offered or actually paid out to somebody who identified a killer, and it turned out the killer had committed suicide. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's the at any rate, he should be given something. Because that's somebody who did alert authorities.
It was either the governor or somebody. I think someone was interviewed in the FBI who said they have every reason to believe he will get the money.
Great.
That's
it's a $50,000 reward,
That's a
by the
real
way.
see something, say something moment. Yeah. Because, again, in my head, I'm thinking this guy knew there's a suspect out there. No, this was before the killing. This homeless guy in a bathroom who obviously spends time there a lot knows when a weird guy comes in and starts acting strangely.
And this development happened, late Thursday? So we didn't get a chance to talk to it. I don't know if the guys did on Friday, but just what a really remarkable situation.
Here's
really.
his Reddit post. I'm being dead serious. The police need to look into a gray Nissan with Florida plates, possibly a rental.
You know how hard it is to see a Reddit post and go, yes, let's take this seriously.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's really difficult to do because you don't want to trust anything that's on Reddit. But you go to it anyway.
You do.
I mean, I do.
You got to go to Reddit. What do you mean don't trust Reddit?
What's the best recipe for such and such? Which, by the way, I got a great story about that.
Oh, we'll have to get to that.
The recipes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting a recipe from Reddit. And it wasn't even me. It was a friend. It's really funny. That's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. Feel free to join the show. 314-436-7900. It's 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hey guys, Dave Glover here from the Dave Glover Show. So, what is my show? My show is 4 different people living 4 different lives, all coming together every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. to talk about life, actual life, not so much headlines or did you see what Trump did today or XYZ. Never predictable because I never know what I'm going to talk about from one segment to the next. So it truly is unique and unpredictable. Join us.
104.1 FM, KMOX.
Hey, Cardinal Cowboy here. Who would have thought a car crash would have led to charities, TV shows, and cheering with the best fans in the world? I'm thankful for every day. And so are my friends at Renner Garage Door. They've been turning garage doors from zero to hero since 1966. With help from trusted brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, honest family-style service you can count on. So giddy up and get your free repair or replacement quote today. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Mostly cloudy right now. Outside Studio B, clouds and sun today, a high of 55. We have a ways to go. Currently, it's 34. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 43.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
'Tis the season, and Quick Trip is turning your phone into the gift that keeps on giving, and giving, and giving. With QT's Holidays. From now till the end of the season, when you open the QT app, you'll automatically get one free gift per day. We're talking classic QT treats like coffee, pizza, or donuts, ready to make your taste buds sing carols of joy. Plus exclusive deals from your favorite brands. With a new surprise waiting for you every day, your phone will be stuffed with more treats than your stocking. QT's Holidays. Open the QT app for your daily gift.
This is Ron Kraszewski, Chairman and CEO of Stifel. As the year comes to a close, I want to thank our clients, colleagues, and communities for your trust and support. We're especially proud of the Stifel U.S. Ski Team. Their drive, resilience, and pursuit of their goals this winter reminds us what's possible when we stay committed. From all of us at Stifel, we wish you and your family a joyful holiday season and a new year filled with health, happiness, and success. Stifel, where success meets success.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-848-2299. 800-848-2299. Again, that's 800-848-2299.
You know how we all of our kids make lists and everything and visit with Santa, and I happen to be really good friends with Santa. It's like we're the same people. So every once in a while, you know, when he's got some free time, which he did, we're cool. So he always makes it a point to stop in and have an adult beverage with me. I was talking to him about, do you ever have requests for a homeowner wanting a furnace or an air conditioner? He said he does. And I said, so what do you deliver on that? Because I'm your best bud and you never let me know. So I've never delivered anything or put anything together. But he said he was going to leave my number and my card. If you don't find it, here's what's on my card. Bart Inman. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. Merry Christmas and God bless.
Get ready for Monday Night Football as the 49ers take on the Colts.
Seitzman Cancer Center game time, 6 p.m. Seitzman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
It's Monday Night Football on America's Sports Voice. 104.1 FM KMOX.
So the governor of Kansas, Laura Kelly, has a press conference this afternoon for a major economic development announcement as it pertains to the Kansas City Chiefs, it sounds like.
Wow.
So, there's that effort that Kansas wants to bring the Chiefs over across the border. and Missouri is trying to keep it in the state. We'll see what happens there. But that's at 3 o'clock today.
3 o'clock. And I just learned I didn't know who the governor of Kansas was.
Laura Kelly.
Yeah.
Huh. We'll keep an eye on that. We are the home of the Chiefs, now
Radio
with 2
home.
injured quarterbacks. So
Yeah.
that's not good
What
for
kind
the,
of
for the
voodoo,
Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs-Bears voodoo is going on?
Hey, we'll
get to that.
We'll talk about
Yeah,
the
okay.
beloved. Don't you worry. So, you were going to say, go ahead.
Yes.
Yes.
So, pretty good, funny story in the National Review, if you are so inclined, by Jeffrey Blair, Blehar. The title, instead of draining the swamp, Trump starts renaming it after himself. So he writes, on Wednesday, Donald Trump unveiled his newest addition to the White House, a series of presidential plaques featuring Trump's own highly ungrammatical and wildly undignified opinions on his predecessors, engraved for posterity's sake and put on public display. Jeff writes this because he had literally just written about it 2 hours earlier when Trump announced he was renaming the Kennedy Center after himself. So that was something that I didn't realize until right when it happened that Trump was even thinking about renaming the John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for Performing Arts after himself. And 2 quick notes. You know the plaques, the much ballyhooed plaques in the White House with his Truth
Did you
Social.
see some of them?
I did see some of them. And
Wild.
Trump has also called his Twitter and Truth Social posts the, quote, modern-day equivalent of the Gettysburg Address.
Okay.
Which I haven't. But anyway, enough about that. The photo from the Kennedy Center, you see the Donald J. Trump and right above the original sign of the John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for Performing Arts. So it is now with 2 thes, the Donald J. Trump and the John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for Performing Arts. Interesting that the memorial's there because one of those guys has passed away and one of them hasn't, but it is still a memorial center. And Ranj, either your thoughts on this or your thoughts on what we should name after ourselves.
Well, I got both, actually.
All right.
First of all, it's completely ridiculous. And I think can we just please, even if you voted for him, can we please just step back for a minute and acknowledge how absolutely ridiculous this is? And if it were a president you didn't like, how you would be losing your mind over it?
Yeah.
Can we, not you, but anybody who is in favor of this right now? It's crazy. It's really, really absurd that this is actually a thing. And if you remember, it was about 2 weeks ago, he was speaking and sort of hinted at it, and I thought it was a joke, but he said it jokingly, like, "Oh, the Kennedy Center, it might soon be the Trump Center." Yeah. He made this offhand comment, and he kind of smirked, and I thought, well, he's joking, but maybe he's not. And now it's actually happening.
I will say, quick note, as Jeff points out in the National Review, the Kennedy Center was named by statute.
Right.
It's
so
actually
they just put
illegal, though. It's illegal for it to be named by a, quote, board of directors because technically it wasn't Trump. It was a, quote, board of directors who unanimously voted to rename the Kennedy Center, which is actually illegal. You can't do it. It's not how it works.
So all that's going to happen here is the name will be up there for a while, and then when the next president comes in, if it's not a Republican, probably, they'll take it down. There's going to be so many different, like these plaques in the White House. They're just going to have to be removed.
Yeah.
Because the plaques say things like, and this is in the White House, and there's the one under Biden says it was as a result of the most corrupt election ever seen in the United States. That should not be hanging up in the White House.
Yeah.
You put it up in your Republican headquarters or something if you want, but not in the White House. You don't get to do all that. So it feels like there are all these little things, and maybe some big things too, that are just they're going to have to spend time undoing a lot of garbage.
The good news is, because this is so, quote, tacky and temporarily done,
yes,
that the grammatical error of the 2 thes and the fact that the Donald J. Trump was awkwardly added atop the existing JFK Center sign it'll peel off like a sticker. Thankfully, they'll just take it off. Jeff, again, this is a pretty funny story in the National Review, says, "What's next? The Donald J. Trump and the Lincoln Memorial?"
Well, so where would he go? What would they do? Trump sitting on Lincoln's shoulders? Like, what would they? I don't know. What would you?
Like Santa Claus?
Yeah, like I don't know how you'd have to do something, but don't think he hasn't considered it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a silly thing, and I don't know.
And the thing is,
it feels like these entities and people are just doing things so that they don't upset him. That's it's such a silly place to be.
Yeah. Oh,
now speaking of silly,
PSA
yes.
on that note, sorry to distract. If you're getting a National Parks Pass, the America the Beautiful Pass, the one that you buy, it's like a season pass for all of the national parks. Guess who's putting his face on it? So get the ones. There's only, it's a limited edition of so many of the hard copies. So get your America the Beautiful Pass before you're forced to get the one.
Maybe some people would love it.
Unless you want the face on it.
You might want that face.
I'm just saying, for a guy who wanted to sell and develop the national parks, to put his face on the America Beautiful Pass.
Maybe that's what you want.
So we decided, though.
So, yes, this is a great idea for us.
We love it.
Speaking of ridiculous,
yes, this is great.
We have thought that maybe here on this show, we should rename some of our wonderful landmarks in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And I have decided, Amy, we're going through all of the different possibilities, buildings, monuments, whatever that we could change. I have decided that I would like it to be from now on known as the Chris Ranji Stan Musial Bridge.
The Chris Ranji and
the
Stan Musial
Stan
Bridge.
Musial Bridge. So from now on, when you're crossing the bridge, it is the Ranji Musial Bridge. You must refer to it as that.
You're not going to say the whole thing, the Chris Ranji and the Stan Musial Bridge?
Well, because when you cross the Musial, you say, I'm going across the Musial Bridge. Just take the Musial Bridge.
So now it's the Ranji Musial?
Yep. That's right.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
Well,
from now on. And that's my choice. That's what I want.
See, and I feel like you really leaned into the Trumpian spirit here. Mine was a little bit more magnanimous because it involved the show.
Oh, okay,
so
great.
I was going to name it the Chris and Amy and the Eads Bridge.
Oh, the Eads Bridge. Yeah, nobody cares about Eads. We don't even know who that is.
Yes, we do.
We do?
Bob
Mr. Eads?
No, we do care about Mr. Eads.
Do we?
The Chris and Amy and the Eads Bridge.
Are there any Eads left in St. Louis?
You know what?
Yeah.
I don't think I appreciate your attitude right now.
Okay. All right. Well, let me offer this then.
Okay.
How about the Chris and Amy Show Eagleton building?
Yes. The Chris and Amy Show and the Thomas Eagleton Courthouse.
Okay. Who's going to say no?
I don't see anybody saying no.
Should we go ahead and make it this? Look, our week is very short because Christmas Eve is Wednesday and we're out. Amy and I are both out the rest of the week. Starting on Wednesday. We're here today and tomorrow. But should we go ahead and do a question of the week?
Yes.
And we'll give the 4 options. We're going to give 4 options of what we should name things.
Yeah.
So the Chris Ranji Stan Musial Bridge.
Yep. The Chris and Amy and the Eads Bridge.
Yes.
Or the Chris and Amy Show and the Thomas Eagleton Courthouse.
Or here's another option, the Amy Marks Course and the Jack Buck Memorial Highway. So those are the 4. Which of these?
That's such a good one.
So,
I get it. I get why Trump gets high off of this.
It's great, isn't it?
I'm feeling pretty amazing right now.
Imagine seeing your name go up there. So it's like the Trump building, the Trump Tower downtown Chicago, and I'm just there over the weekend and walking around the city. And when they built the tower, the name wasn't on it, but right now is a huge Trump. The big letters right there on the side of the building. And what they had tried to do on that river front is that all the buildings that were there, they didn't want like gaudy, massive signage.
Mm-hmm.
So the city, way before he was president, tried to prevent him from putting his name up there. They did a bunch of legal stuff. They couldn't do it. I guess he won in court, and so it's there. But it's just so noticeable. Like when you're walking that part of the river, it's like you see all these buildings and you just see Trump. It's like in your face and it's got the lights behind it. So that's what we want now. If he can do it, we should be able to do it. So on the Stan Musial Bridge, which I don't even, there's no signage on it, there will be after this.
Well, what I like about Trump is that he's continuing the legacy of great leaders who put their name and faces over everything, like Lenin, Mussolini.
Yes.
Yeah. Mao Zedong. Yeah, I think he's really continuing that, that tradition.
TW watching on YouTube says it should be the Chris and Amy Ted Drews.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, fine.
That's personal.
Chris and Amy Ted Drews frozen custard.
Referring to... That's good, actually. It's really good.
I'm into that.
Referring to the Donald J. Trump and the Lincoln Memorial, Brian has a great idea. If Trump adds his name to the Lincoln Memorial, it could be a ventriloquist act with Trump as the dummy sitting on Lincoln's lap.
Don't call him a dummy. That's not nice.
No, he's not a dummy. He's the dummy.
Well, the dummy.
Yes.
He is the dummy. Right. Okay.
Because it's Lincoln.
I know.
You put a smaller Trump.
Yeah.
It would be easy to put a smaller Trump there because Lincoln's pretty big, if you've ever been there.
So you'll have to go to our Twitter account at ChrisAmyKMOX and vote in our poll which of these things should be renamed. Which one do you like best?
The Amy Mark Scores and the Jack Buck Memorial Highway.
The Chris and Amy Eads Bridge.
Yep.
The Chris and Amy and the Thomas Eagleton Center.
Courthouse.
Yep. And the Chris Ranji and the Stan Musial Bridge. Oh, that's going to be really difficult to put those
These are good.
Yeah.
These are really good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You know what else?
Yes.
I think we should start putting our tweets and comments as plaques on the wall at KMOX next to all the awards.
Oh, I love that idea.
How have we not done this yet?
You didn't think of it until just now.
I
That's
know.
why.
But we have a whole wall of plaques.
Like
I bet every day we could add
where the Murrow Awards are. We should just start putting our tweets up.
How long would it take for someone to notice?
Oh.
Not long.
No. Yeah, probably 5 to 6 minutes.
We should do it.
Missouri, if you didn't know by now, and if you haven't, I don't know where you've been, but FanDuel Sportsbook, it's live. It's up and running in the Show Me State, and they are right now kicking things off with an offer tough to beat. New customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether it's football, basketball, hockey, whatever it is you bet, all of it, you can do it on an app that is safe, secure, and very easy to use. So get that FanDuel app now, or you can go to FanDuel.com/Missouri. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri and get in on the excitement because it is time to play your game with FanDuel in the Show Me State. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra and their monumental tour, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, to Enterprise Center December 23rd at 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. A portion of the proceeds benefits Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. TSO, timeless and everlasting. Don't miss the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, The Lost Christmas Eve, produced by Live Nation. For more details, KMOX.com/events.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-848-2299. 800-848-2299. Again, that's 800-848-2299.
Tom Ackerman here for Busey Bank, recognizing the Guardian Angel Settlement Association as a building community partner. Guardian Angel serves under-resourced community members, helping them take the first step on the path to possible. They assist over 5,000 individuals in our community through their early childhood education and social stability programs. To learn more about Guardian Angel, Google Guardian Angel STL. Busey Bank encourages you to get involved. Together, we can build community.
This is Pat Buring, Executive Vice President at Busey Bank. At Busey, community and giving back are at the heart of everything we do. We're more than a bank. We're your neighbors and your partners. We take pride in engaging with the communities we serve and building lasting relationships, because our commitment to strengthening our communities is a top priority. Whether you're shopping local or giving back through volunteerism, every little bit counts. Join us at Busey Bank as we continue building the communities we call home.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
All right, so as we mentioned, go to our Twitter account, at Chris Amy KMOX, and vote in the Twitter poll about what we should rename after ourselves on this show. And TW with another banger, who's watching on YouTube and writes in Chris and Amy's Ruth's Chris's Steakhouse. Fine. All right.
It's really good.
The Chris and Amy Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Okay.
Is it the same Chris?
I don't
Two
know.
different
Actually,
Chris's.
I don't know.
The Chris
I think
and
it should
Amy
be
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Let me throw you
Okay.
one better. The Chris and Amy Ruth's Chris at Chris Steakhouse. KREIS, the one on Lindbergh. So there's, so we're joining Ruth's Chris with Chris Steakhouse, Chris's Steakhouse.
What if we flip it? It's Ruth's Chris and Amy Steakhouse.
Oh, wow.
We could
Ruth's
have two-
Chris and Amy Chris Steakhouse.
Yeah.
I wish we had thought of that before the poll. That's not bad.
That one's going to win.
All right.
Can we take the poll down? The Ruth's Chris and Amy Steakhouse at Chris's. Oh, here's one. The Chris Ranji and Rosa Parks Highway.
Oh, God. No, there will be no objections to that, I imagine.
The Chris and Amy Art Hill.
Okay.
Grant's Farm at the Chris and Amy Show.
Okay. Grant's Farm. Look, whatever you want to name after us, we're in. We're not going to say no to anything.
My aunt texts in. Aunt Kay says, what about the Chris and Amy The Hill?
The Chris and Amy The Hill.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Amy, I know that you're going to love this. Did you see that there is a new movie coming out in 2026, and it is called The Breadwinner, and it is starring your favorite guy, Nate Bargatze?
No.
Have you seen this? Yeah, it's a
No.
feeture film. It is expected to be released the day before my birthday, so don't forget, March 13th is when it comes out. My birthday is Pi Day, March 14th, or STL Day. The Breadwinner is the name of the film, and he plays a dad. Mom has to go away for a little bit, and he has to be mom. And so he is struggling to do things like take the kids to the school because he doesn't know what schools they go to.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that. And
That'll be
it's
funny.
coming from his comedy because he's made jokes about similar stuff. So I figured you'd like that.
I should.
The
I hope
Breadwinner.
so. I will give it a try. I know Waymo is thinking about coming to St. Louis, or maybe they have already made it official. But something to think about, Waymo, which are the driverless vehicles, super popular. especially like on the coast in San Francisco. My friend took a Waymo for the first time in Arizona. At any rate, there was a power outage in San Francisco on Saturday, and Waymo had to suspend its services. Why? Well, because when all the traffic lights went out, the Waymos got confused, and there are videos and pictures of all these Waymo cars just stopped at intersections.
This is what I'm talking
not
about,
knowing
dude.
what to do. There's one picture of 5 Waymos blocking an entire intersection, and everybody has to drive around them because they're just stopped. They don't know what to do.
These things seem way too easy to confuse. And look, I've been in an Uber, I've been in a Lyft where the driver is not bright. That's happened before. Most of them are great, and I love them. But sometimes there's a person driving that car that doesn't know what they're doing. You can at least give them instructions.
Mm-hmm.
You can at least say, oh, would you mind doing this instead of that? But when you've got this car that is on its own and there's no person, you can't explain to it, hey, you realize that you're stopped in the middle of an intersection and you can go around?
They're like, I don't know what to do. Well, in May, Waymo had to recall the software for more than 1,200 cars after they collided with, quote, chains or gates. Interesting. More recently, a Waymo vehicle hit and killed a beloved bodega cat in San Francisco, sparking outrage. Tell you what, I'm not a huge fan. Not surprising coming from me, but they're a little easy to confuse.
So, as we mentioned, FanDuel Sports Network yesterday, a report came out about it that it is on the verge of potentially going belly up unless a sale goes through. And if it doesn't, the Cardinals are going to have to figure out how to put their games on television in 2026. Spoiler alert, they'll always be available here on KMOX for free. Always.
That's right.
So don't worry about that. But we'll talk about what that means and what's next. Senior contributor to Forbes, Maury Brown, is on the show next.
This is Kyle Bush with Crinch Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. Life changes, divorce, loss of a loved one, or an inheritance. It can be overwhelming. We provide the resources, long-standing support, and thoughtful guidance you need to plan ahead. With our help and experience, you don't have to navigate these transitions alone. You can move forward with greater clarity and confidence. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Servicing. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
St. Louis Auto Show returns January 22nd through 25th at the America Center. Bring the whole family and explore hundreds of new vehicles from the world's biggest automotive brands. Then get up close and personal with the coolest, most expensive rides ever created at the $1 Million Mile. There's even something for the kids with our Mid-America Chevy dealers sponsored Kids Zone. Get your tickets today at stlautoshow.com. Kids 12 and under get in free. That's stlautoshow.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Christmas has arrived at Chesterfield Valley Nursery with hundreds of Christmas trees and our winter greens. Visit our garden center for your live holiday decor, from garland to poinsettias to custom live wreaths made right here at Chesterfield Valley Nursery. Open to the public, everyone is welcome. Stop by 16825 North Outer 40 Road in Chesterfield, directly past the popular entertainment district. Visit ChesterfieldValleyNursery.com.
Celebrating 100 years and wishing you the best of the holiday season. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. 2025 was a turning point for America. House Republicans didn't just talk about the challenges facing our country, we delivered real solutions. I was proud to stand beside President Trump to deliver historic tax cuts, secure our border, and eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse in the government. This year, my office helped constituents by solving over 500 cases and returning to them nearly $1.8 million. I'm Congressman Bob Onder, and I wish you a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
It is 10 o'clock, and we do have partly sunny skies in downtown St. Louis. It is 41 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey. A pipe burst early today, flooding parts of Jennings High School's auditorium, cafeteria, and classrooms. We're told the water leak was discovered about 3 this morning, and service was shut off minutes later. Jennings students and staff are on winter break. The extent of the damage is still being evaluated. Healthcare is a big concern for many Americans.
4 in 10 U.S. adults named healthcare as the biggest issue they want to see Congress address. That's according to a new Associated Press NORC poll. President Donald Trump's Republican administration has reduced spending on Medicaid and decided to end COVID-era subsidies for the Affordable Care Act, essentially guaranteeing that millions of people will see a steep increase in cost early next year.
That's CBS's Jim Krasula, who says the poll also found that many see immigration, inflation, and rising costs as other pressing issues. Unseasonably warm temperatures over the next several days could mean more people turning out to ring bells at the Salvation Army Red Kettles across the St. Louis region. KMOX's Amy Markscores is this year's Red Kettle campaign chair.
You want to be a bell ringer and you're afraid of standing out there on the cold if the weather's in the 60s or 70s? There are a few more days to volunteer to ring the bell at registertoring.com. 1 2-hour shift can feed a family of 4 for a week.
Markscore says the public's need for Salvation Army assistance locally this year is greater than ever. From the business desk sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, Washington University has paused millions of dollars in capital projects due to uncertainty of funding and cuts on the federal level, but plans to build a pair of new student dorms in Clayton is apparently still moving forward. According to the Business Journal, it would be housing for about 600 students at its South 40 campus on Forsyth. Development costs for the dorms were not included in zoning documents, and no date has been set for when the project will be heard by the Clayton Plan Commission and Architectural Review Board. Tyson Foods is closing its beef plant in Lexington, Nebraska, laying off 3,200 workers next month in a town of just 11,000. Nearly a third of the town's population will be out of work, causing spin-off layoffs in local businesses and threatening to unravel the small town. The weather is sponsored for you by 4 Pretty Paws Mobile Pet Spa. They come to you.
Clouds and breaks of sun this afternoon with a high of 55, then partly to mostly cloudy tonight, low 46. For tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, the high 60. For Wednesday, Christmas Eve, mostly cloudy and very mild, the high 67. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Partly cloudy, 41 degrees. 4prettypaws.com. Since 2018, 4 Pretty Paws Mobile Pet Spa has provided stress-free one-on-one grooming right at your doorstep. Convenient, personal, and trusted. Book your holiday appointment at 4prettypaws.com, now serving Southern Illinois. It's 10:03. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
Chris and Amy on 104.1 FM KMOX, and you may have heard, well, this is hour 2 of 3. I know you know that, but you may have heard that FanDuel Sports Network is in jeopardy of maybe no longer existing, which means for the 2026 season, the Cardinals will have to figure out what the broadcast is going to look like on the television side and who's going to do it, who's going to produce the thing. But to talk about what's going on with FanDuel and its parent company, Main Street Sports, Maury Brown is a senior contributor to Forbes, and Maury is with us on KMOX. Good to have you today, Maury. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
All right, so my understanding is that FanDuel is basically just paid for naming rights for the broadcasts for Main Street Sports, which produce several regional cable sports network broadcasts. That's the way this works, first of all, correct?
That is correct.
So,
just as it was the case prior, it's gone through
With
several
Bally's.
iterations. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
then what is going on here with Main Street Sports? My understanding, it's also, it used to be Diamond Sports?
It did. Diamond went through a bankruptcy restructuring. It came out of that and renamed themselves, and they appear once again to be coming into financial headwinds. So it's a significant situation. Obviously impacts not just the Cardinals, but a bunch of teams in the NBA and the NHL, including the St. Louis Blues.
Okay, quick question here, just because I know so many fans have seen, the iteration from Fox Sports Midwest to Bally Sports Midwest. So you mentioned Diamond Sports. They're the ones that bought it from Sinclair. Is that correct?
No, that was part of Sinclair kind of backed it. They were the backstop
Okay.
for it. So, yeah, I mean, once again, it's a bit, confusing, right? It's gone through several iterations of it. As it stands right now, they're working with the deal with a company called DAZN, D-A-Z-N, that are mostly known in Europe and not really much of a player in the United States. They mostly do streaming deals, and it sounds like it's fairly complex. But if that deal doesn't go through, then all the media rights would go back to all the clubs, including the Cardinals. And this happened prior with Diamond Sports Group. What would happen then is that Major League Baseball would produce the broadcasts, and Major League Baseball has been very good about it. They've been able to go ahead and get carriage deals so that you would find it on, Xfinity or DirecTV streaming and whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see what happens because, again, the question then becomes how much money goes back to the Cardinals.
Yeah, and I know that is the main concern from the teams, and we have heard that there have already been some payments that have been missed because the way it usually works is the network or the entity producing the telecasts pays the team for the rights to do that, and they make payments. They get billed, and they've missed one already?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Normally they're like quarterly payments. And there's a grace period. So for this to have been announced or to have leaked out means that they have missed their throughout the grace period as well. So that's concerning because, again, Major League Baseball went through this prior with several Cubs, the Padres, the Twins, the Guardians, just to name a few. And so, once again, that becomes problematic. Now, baseball has been in a pretty good position to go ahead and pick these up. They literally did this and fall through the Padres within a 24-hour period and were able to get them on the air mid-season. The only saving grace for the Cardinals is that this happens in the offseason, so it gives them a little bit of time to try and figure out how they're going to respond.
But it happens mid-season, for instance, the St. Louis Blues. So what does that mean?
Yeah, they would have to scramble on trying to figure out what they would want to go ahead and do in terms of trying to figure out carriage deals and whatnot that would go through with it. The good news, bad news. The bad news is when it happened with Major League Baseball, there was an acrimonious relationship. Major League Baseball very much wanted to see the media rights deals that they had garnered prior have the payments be made. They wanted to go ahead and lower it. And when I say they, Diamond, which would now be Main Street. So, again, the question would be whether something could be cobbled together at the last minute for the NHL. So it is. It's problematic. The NBA described it as the worst nightmare if something like this were to happen. And so, again, it's certainly not great for fans who just want to know where they're going to be able to see their games played. My guess would be at a last-ditch effort, they would try and work deals and kind of go back to the future and try and do over-the-air broadcasts with their local networks, right? So that has happened with some of the NBA franchises. It's quite possible that maybe the NHL teams might try and broker some kind of deal there.
So if this deal goes through with it's that DAZN, I've heard it said differently. I've heard DAZN. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I have seen it before. I've seen the logo before. Never really used the service or anything. So if this does happen, would the expectation be that the Cardinals broadcast here and those that are affected, the FanDuels around the country, would be done about the same, like no change, or would things be a little different?
Yeah, that's the open question. It sounds, I mean, the way that the deal is described is that it's complex. They're known mostly for streaming, so there would likely be a direct-to-consumer offering so that people that are not part of your, standard cable traditional television deal would have a streaming rights offer. So, I mean, that's certainly one way that it could be done. That the traditional TV deal would still remain in place. There would be a streaming offering. The big, of course, question is whether the media rights would be the same or whether they would try and broker some kind of deal through there. Now, it sounds to me like this would bail them out. So, again, that's kind of the way that Main Street would kind of try and do this, to get DAZN to basically be a backstop and basically the majority owner of it.
Okay, I know I don't know exactly how all of this works, but from my layman's perspective, I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, like the St. Louis Cardinals as a product and the St. Louis Blues as a product, that's a pretty strong product. And also FanDuel is sports gaming, a multi-billion-dollar industry and growing. How is FanDuel Sports Network struggling?
Yeah, I mean, the big question is how this affects the change in subscriptions for people that watch traditional television. I mean, the biggest thing is that when the Fox Sports deal fell through, right, and when that had to be split up due to the Disney sale, that had to be broken up. It was done for, I want to say, $71 billion, and it was hyper over leveraged. And that became the profound problem. There was just a ton of debt. Now, when Diamond Sports took over, they went into bankruptcy. They cleared it. They said they were in great shape. That clearly doesn't seem to be the case here. If they're already within basically the span of a year running into headwinds on this, well, that's the problem. So, again, it's that they're over leveraged. I mean, they're just in a bunch of debt. The model, of course, has changed. I mean, again, the number of people that are on traditional cable has dwindled significantly as streamers have this point where we're flipping over to the streaming services. So that's largely the big problem that we're seeing.
Maury Brown, senior contributor to Forbes, is joining us here on KMOX, and because it has been an issue with the regional sports networks around the country that have been struggling, but we have seen some teams just make their own. I'm thinking of Marquee Network with the Cubs, for example, and it's been for the last few years that they just produce and they distribute their own games on their own network. Would that be a possibility for a team like the Cardinals? Are they even interested in doing something like that?
Yeah, it's a possibility. I mean, the Texas Rangers, who were in the group of the last ones that wound up having either Major League Baseball was going to pick up the production or they could go on their own. The Texas Rangers went alone on it. So, look, the brand, especially the Cardinals, are exceptionally strong brand. So they could, in effect, do that. Now, again, that comes with some risk. We've seen some clubs decide to go that route and then back off of it. Most notably, recently, the Seattle Mariners had Root Sports Northwest. They decided to go in and own that. They owned that for a period of time. They have recently come under MLB's umbrella. And the wild card in this, of course, is that ESPN just picked up a portion of those broadcasts for all those teams that Major League Baseball produced. And so, again, that's a 3-year deal. What Major League Baseball, of course, is looking to do eventually is try and pull in as many of these local media rights deals into one package and sell that off as a large deal to someone like Amazon, to someone like ESPN. And so right now we're in this bridging, but this 3-year deal with ESPN, NBC Peacock, and that kind of deal right now where we have that's, I think, the open-ended question. So if the Cardinals were to try and strike some deal, that's a long-term investment. That would be something that they would want to go ahead and do for a long period of time. And again, there's so much questions about where the industry is heading and whether they would make more being bundled with a large group of teams or whether they could go it on their own. That's the open question. So only the Cardinals can answer that question right now. Of course, what they're hoping is they don't have to do anything in the near term and that they have some sustainability, at least for the time being.
Obviously, it's a lot different when it comes to the NFL, which doesn't have local broadcasters. They've just got, the national teams. On the radio side, you've got local broadcasters, but on the national side, it's not like that. And there's different interests with the NFL. People generally in this country are more interested in the NFL than they are in baseball. But could it ever be a model like that? Would it even make sense to do that? Or, would it make sense for there to just be one subscription service and you get all the teams and that's it? There's no other way to get it.
Yeah, that was the brilliance of Pete Rozelle and the NFL in doing that. Of course, the NFL is its own universe. I mean, but Rod Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, has said that he's interested in trying to pull them all in. Now, the problem with that is that there are teams like the Yankees or the Dodgers or you mentioned the Cubs that are big market, large brands that are going to probably make more money than some package deals where all 30 clubs in Major League Baseball would go ahead and join in on a streaming deal. And that becomes the prevailing question, whether they could package it up as a national deal. Again, I don't see this in terms of – I would see this as a streaming deal. So that's probably not going to make a lot of fans happy. But you can see the writing on the wall. There have been instances where some sports leagues, most notably MLS did it with Apple TV, but there could be other options. Again, right now it's a hodgepodge. It just seems to be all over the place, which can be problematic. The beauty of regular linear television was it was all in one place. I mean, we bemoaned the idea of cable television, but everything was largely there and you could find it. Now it's scattered around a bunch of different streaming services, and that comes with, a cost component. There's just so many streaming services that people can be a part of. You just run into a cost problem.
So the last thing I want to ask you is sort of off the topic here, and that is we are a little bit less than a year away from Major League Baseball having the lockout. We know that people are assuming it is going to happen. The length of it, not quite sure. My feeling, Maury, and I don't know how you feel about this, is the longer this goes on, I don't think it's likely we have a long work stoppage, that they will either get something done during spring training or before the season. How do you think this is going to play out? Because certainly this is also complicating the TV deal situation.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because what a lot of people don't know is in most TV deals, even if games are missed, the media rights still flow to the clubs. Now, they get paid back in rebates, but they get paid back over time. So for a situation like we're talking about with this complicated situation with Main Street, I mean, the problem there, of course, would be that they're in kind of financial difficulty. I would expect an off-season lockout absolutely is going to happen. The last time this happened, we missed spring training, and they were able to compress the regular season with a bunch of double headers. They missed the first week of when the regular season was scheduled, but they got in all 162. I would not be surprised to see April, potentially into May, be lost. I think that the owners are really going to try and push for a salary cap. And in that instance, you're going to lose games. Will you get into it when you get into the summer? I think that there's a lot more pressure on the owners at that stage to try and come into some deal. But I think that there's a real possibility of losing some regular season games this time around. There just seems to be a situation in which the owners really are going to try and push for a salary cap, even though they have an absolute terrible history of this. Obviously, the 94-95 strike in which we lost the World Series looms over the sport, and fans are not as forgiving as they used to be. There are a lot more entertainment options at their disposal, and I think that actually works in the favor of fans this time around. Hopefully that comes into play, and if there are regular season games, there's not many that are lost.
Thank you, Maury Brown. We appreciate your time as always.
All right, you take care. Thank you so much for having me.
Maury Brown is a senior contributor to Forbes, with us here once again on KMOX. There's a lot that is up in the air as it comes to Major League Baseball and affecting the Cardinals as well.
I'm
Chris
sick
and Amy,
of streaming.
I am sick
of it.
Sick of everything. Everything, including this weather. What are you talking about? 75 degrees on Christmas Day. Stop it. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
Live from Forest Park.
There, when we took it to the streets.
We're standing in the Lindell Pavilion across from the Jefferson Memorial in Forest Park, where the Jack Carney Parade is passing in review.
Now we take you to Don Miller. Don is flying around in the KMOX jet copter. He has an overview of the entire parade.
Okay, Mike, and I just wish that everyone could have our panoramic view of this spectacle.
And that'll wrap it up from the reviewing stand in the Jack Carney. It's great to be an American. It's great to be a St. Louisan, and nobody asked me to be in a parade before. Parade. I'm Bob Costas.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX. The voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by the Polar Express at St. Louis Union Station. Get your tickets now at stlpolarexpressride.com.
No one remembers the tie, the sweater, or the pair of socks they received last year for the holidays, but they will remember the year they learned how to play the piano. Hi, this is Kathy from Lacefield Music. And every year in January, Lacefield Music opens their exciting and innovative 8-week adult piano classes to the public for the incredible price of only $29.99 for all 8 weeks. This class is usually $100, but in January, the classes will be $29.99 for all 8 weeks. With Lacefield Music's adult piano classes, you will learn how to read music, play your favorite songs, and you will play with both your right and your left hand the very first week. This year, instead of buying your loved one more things, buy them an experience and fulfill the dream of learning to play the piano. Class sizes are limited and are filling fast, so call 636-778-2070 for more information or go to lacefieldmusic.com. That's lacefieldmusic.com to sign up.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Hi, this is Congresswoman Ann Wagner, representing Missouri's 2nd Congressional District. Congratulations to KMOX on 100 years of serving our St. Louis community.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 KMOX, sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers.
I was a bit under the weather the past last week, so I missed some shows. But Matthew, you'll be pleased to note that I continued in my anti-phone crusade.
Oh, good.
Because I didn't have to set an alarm because I was ill. Guess who slept with her phone in a different room?
Your sister.
No,
You
Matthew.
did.
That's right.
Oh, good job.
Thank you. And so I also have my 15-minute limit on my phone.
Nice.
So I started reading again. Reading.
What's that?
Wonderful.
Like picture books?
Like picture books. Exactly right. No, I'm currently reading American Covenant about the ideological and philosophical foundations of the American Constitution.
All right, just move on. What?
I learned some new words.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Tell us about it.
Okay. The first one is throttle bottom.
I know what that is.
Do you? Raj?
You can't say that on
Tell
the air,
me
I
what
don't
a
think.
throttle bottom is.
Oh, well, I just had a weekend. What?
A throttle bottom. Everyone remember these. Write these down. A throttle bottom is a willfully ignorant and incompetent person in public office.
Not at all what I thought. I can think of a couple throttle bottoms.
I can think of a lot of throttle bottoms.
We just talked about one of them. Go ahead.
A mumpsimus.
Oh, a mumpsimus.
A mumpsimus.
Is this a disease?
Sounds like it. Sounds like I had the mumpsimus. No. A mumpsimus is an obstinate person who insists on making an error in spite of being shown it is an error.
Interesting. Now obstinate. Okay.
That's pretty good. Oh, quick note. I didn't learn these from that book. This was from various articles, including one in The Atlantic. Yeah, I don't want people to think this is reflecting on the book.
Mumpsimus.
Mumpsimus. Cacistocracy.
Oh, my gosh.
Cacistocracy.
I've never heard of a cacistocracy.
Well, so this is when the cacks are in charge.
What's a cac?
Don't know.
So, guys, this word is my new favorite word. A cacistocracy is government by the least suitable or competent citizens of a state.
All right.
Wow.
Can
you believe it?
Again, relevant.
But cacistocracy, I've never heard of that word. And I've read a lot of books on politics.
Cacistocracy.
Yeah. So remember, throttle bottom, which I love, mumpsimus, and cacistocracy. Here's one which we all deal with. It's not necessarily along the same theme as the other three. Lethologica.
Lethologica.
Yeah. Lethologica is the inability to remember a word or put your finger on it when you're like, what is that word for that?
Now that is
That's
so useful.
Yeah. But now you got to remember lethologica.
Yeah, be like, God, there's a word for this. What is it?
But when you use these words, nobody else knows what they mean. So how useful are they?
You know what? I mean, it's the right question because there are all these words.
Lethologica is really just a party trick when someone can't remember their word. Ranj can go, he can, I don't know, swirl his swill. You can swirl your swill and say, actually, there's a word for that, Barbara. It's lethologica.
Barbara.
Yeah.
How many Barbaras do you think I'm talking?
With that.
I do think even if no one knows the word throttle bottom, it's worth using and answering. When people say throttle bottom.
This guy's a real throttle bottom over there, isn't he?
Yes.
Uh-huh. I do like throttle bottom.
Throttle bottom is a great word. And
How do you get to that?
cacistocracy.
What does that even throttle bottom? Like, how do you get to least qualified person doing being in public office?
You know what? I didn't look at the etymology of throttle bottom. I'll do that on the break.
Okay.
You do the weather.
All right, I'll do the weather. You do that thing.
Okay.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. Matt Pauley joins us next to talk about the Wilson Contreras trade. The Cardinals have made another deal with Boston. That's next on KMOX.
Buckle up, St. Louis. The hot stove is already blazing as Heim Bloom gets to work. The Blues look to make December one to remember, and we're following every shift. And as KMOX races towards its 100th anniversary, the Gas House Gang celebrates the legendary voices that made it America's sports voice. Big stories, big moments, and the biggest names in St. Louis sports all month long. The Gas House Gang, weekdays at noon on KMOX.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Hey, bills happen! So when you need extra cash fast, go to billshappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to billshappen.com. You could find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow. Billshappen.com is safe, secure, and all online. Just remember, when you need cash, go to billshappen.com. Billshappen.com for the cash you need now. Billshappen.com.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple. To make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
We warmed up 8 degrees from the last time we spoke. 42 degrees right now. Today, a high of 55. Times of clouds and sun. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 43.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Renner Garage Door has you covered. Renner's been turning garage doors from zero to hero since 1966. RennerDoorSTL.com.
RENNER. It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Running a small business is a daily balancing act. One late shipment, one price hike, one employee issue, and your whole month, maybe the entire year, could be in trouble. That's where LendSeek comes in.
I needed $100,000 fast to keep up with inventory demands. LendSeek had me funded the same day I applied. Between their AI platform finding the fastest deal and a dedicated funding specialist guiding the process, it couldn't have been easier.
Our AI-driven platform matches your business with the right program from over 100 funders, up to $2 million in as fast as 24 hours. Don't wait until it's too late. If you've been in business at least 2 years with more than $500,000 in annual revenue, qualifying is simple. No collateral, no out-of-pocket costs, no hassle. From lines of credit, term loans to revenue-based financing, LendSeek is open for business. Apply in minutes at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Hi, Debbie Monterey with Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, you've been helping families for more than 22 years with your guarantees, your buyers in waiting program, and you were telling me that between now and the end of the year is a good time to sell. Can you share why?
Always good to see you. When it comes to timing, the spring and fall selling season have historically been the most active. However, due to raised home value and affordability, this market still has lots of sellers and buyers on the sidelines. Fact is, between now and year end is a great time to discuss the sale of your home. I have guaranteed sale program solutions for every situation, including instant multiple cash offers, 100% market value, or my trusted guarantee sale program, where I'll sell your home at our agreed upon price, or I will buy it myself.
Sounds like a plan. The time is now. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, every moment with our patients is a gift. This holiday season, you can be the reason children have hope as they fight serious illness and reach milestones once thought impossible. Your gift provides life-saving care to those who need it most. Please donate today at treeofhope.org and be the reason a child has hope for tomorrow.
Get ready for Monday Night Football as the 49ers take on the Colts.
Seitzman Cancer Center game time, 6 p.m. Seitzman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
It's Monday Night Football on America's Sports Voice, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Hey, Paulie, I was responsible.
Paulie, we're here because of you.
All right, well, the Cardinals have been active, and They have made another trade, and we got the word of that yesterday, later in the afternoon, that Wilson Contreras has been traded to the Boston Red Sox. And to discuss that with us on the Chris and Amy Show, it is Matt Pauley, the host of Sports Open Line, Rush Hour Sports, and Countdown to Opening Day happening on Thursdays leading into the 2026 season. Matt Pauley, what do you think of the deal?
Yeah, I think it's part of the rebuilding process. You're bummed to see Wilson Contreras, who, you feel bad for him. He came to St. Louis to play for winning Cardinals teams, and he never got that opportunity. He was a guy that cared so much about winning. At times, he wasn't treated the best. He went through some things. So I feel bad that Contreras' Cardinals tenure ends without much in terms of games that really matter. As far as the return, you get a guy who's going to step right into the starting rotation, Hunter Dobbins. You get a couple young pitchers that are sort of lottery tickets and are considered prospects. So I'm fine with it. Like this is what a rebuild is. You trade away older players for younger players, and you hope that some of them hit. And not all of them will, but I've got no problem with the deal.
So you don't ever know for sure when you're talking about younger players, in particular minor league prospects. But does this return for the Cardinals seem about right? Is it better than they might have gotten, or is it worse than they should have?
Yeah, I think it's about right, and I'm not the guy who's going to be able to break down prospects the way some other people are, but I certainly have read a lot about the two young players who are coming over, and Fajardo seems to be the one that people are most excited about. Sounds like he's going to slot in as a top 10 organizational prospect, so that's nice. And then, Dobbins is still a young guy. He made his Major League debut this past year, so you still have tons of club control on him. He's not, we talk about this team needing more swing and miss from starting pitching. That's not what this guy is. He's more of the classic Cardinals pitcher who's going to pitch to contact. But yeah, he slots in. I'm fine with it. The basic answer to what you're saying is I'm fine with the return.
How interesting is it that Chaim Bloom has now dealt with his former team a couple of times in this offseason already?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. And he had mentioned after the Sonny Gray trade that it did feel kind of weird for him going through that process. I'm guessing it was less weird as he did it a second time with Contreras. But yeah, all of a sudden, you think about bringing in Dobbins and Fitz and then Dustin May, who was just signed as a free agent. That's three starters who are very probably going to be in the starting rotation who were pitching for Boston last year. So there's going to be a lot of – but here's the interesting part about all this, Ranj. For the most part, the players that the Cardinals have gotten back from Boston got to the organization after Chaim Bloom left. Dobbins did not. He is responsible for Dobbins coming to the Red Sox organization. But the guys that they got in the Gray trade, and either both of the young guys or one of the two young guys, I'd have to look it up again, were not there. So it's not like he's bringing all these people over from Boston who he had gone out and acquired for them.
So, all right, they've done this. We've talked about Contreras. That was the one that I was sort of zeroed in on when we were talking about the remaining Cardinals that are likely to be dealt. That I didn't think we were talking enough about him. It was all Brendan Donovan, and they're trying to get rid of Nolan Arenado and probably some relievers like Romero getting dealt. But Contreras was the one I thought was the maybe as attractive as anybody else. We just weren't giving him attention. So it's tough to guess what happens next, but what do you think is it still Arenado? Is that still their main order of business? If they could do it tomorrow and get the right deal, is that what they would go for first?
Yes, that's been the whole time, but I think they have to wait on that one still because there are going to be other pieces that end up falling. The Donovan thing might take some time here, and I must say that, and they're going to announce a Donovan trade this afternoon. But it seems like Donovan is the piece that's going to get you the largest return, so you kind of continue to negotiate that out. And there's so many teams that are interested in him that you continue to play that game and see how much you can increase the price on him moving forward. So, yeah, if they can get an Arenado deal done, that'd be great. I don't know if anything's going to happen before the holiday season. I don't completely preclude it, but I guess I would be mildly surprised if something were to happen before the holiday period. But I know Chaim Bloom's working on things, and he had said to Tom on Sunday morning that they were hoping to get something done before the holidays. Well, then not that long after we get the reports of the Contreras trade. The Cardinals have yet to confirm it, but that's probably going to happen at some point today. I would think we probably even have a media availability with Chaim and maybe somebody else today, so we'll just have to wait on that. But yeah, I mean, the short answer to your question is yes. The number one priority for this organization is to trade Arenado. That's the only guy who's left that you feel like you have to trade. They'll probably trade Donovan, and they'd like to do that. They'll probably trade Romero, and they'd like to do that. But you have to trade Nolan Arenado.
Hey, Matt, in the NHL, they have a league-wide trading pause basically all of Christmas week. It's like December 20th through the 28th. You can't place anyone on waivers. You can't trade them, which is not always been that way. Major League Baseball doesn't have that, I don't think. And so do you see a lot of movement on a Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, the day after, generally in baseball?
Yeah, not a lot of movement, but it happens. It does happen for sure. Chaim told a story to us at the winter meetings about how when he was at Tampa Bay, they had sent basically their entire baseball operations department home for a few days for the holidays, and they said, put your phones down, we're going to take some time. And then all of a sudden on Christmas Eve, an agent for a player that they were really interested in signing basically said, we need your best and last offer right now. So all of a sudden on Christmas Eve, he was calling up his entire baseball operations staff saying, we got to get back together and start working on this. And I know you weren't comparing the two, but it's different because if you get traded in the NHL during Christmas week, then you're literally trading where you physically have to be right around the holidays, where if you get traded in baseball during the Christmas week, that doesn't actually impact any, where you physically have to be. So that's why there's no need for there to be that respite there. But yeah, it happens. It happens for sure.
It's kind of funny. It's just like the human element of things that we don't always think about when we start talking about players like they're commodities. But a former NHLer was telling a story on a podcast I was listening to last week. And he said on Christmas Day, he played for the New York Rangers, and he gave all of his family members all of this new Rangers gear, and he got traded the next day. And he said they all had all of this Rangers gear, and he was no longer playing for the Rangers.
Yeah, that happened. We do forget sometimes. That's something that I really hard to try to do in my job, and sometimes it's easier said than done. But I do try to remember the fact that, and La Russa always used to use, the men not machines line from La Russa. It's true. They are human beings, and when we talk about them, we should talk about them as if they are human beings and not just machines that you're playing around with.
Matt, your thoughts on the Cardinals TV situation now with FanDuel up in the air?
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, if I'm the Cardinals, I'm pretty annoyed right now because you took a 20-25% haircut last year to stay with FanDuel, and then a year later, not even, they're coming back, and if the sale goes through to the DAZN people, it sounds like they're going to have to renegotiate with all their partners anyway. So then 1 year after already taking a cut, you're taking another cut in all likelihood. The RSN model just is not working right now, the regional sports network model. It's unfortunate that reading the reports in Sports Business Journal and the other places that it's come out, they're trying to save themselves. At some point, is it worth saving? Because this network, the system has been on the brink of collapse multiple times. It feels like it has no real long-term stability. So instead of trying to stick with the same thing that they've been doing, I wonder if this is the moment where everybody says, okay, let's figure out what the future of TV broadcasting is going to be for Major League Baseball, for the NBA, for the NHL. A number of teams have gone to some type of over-the-air type situation. I know there are people in the St. Louis market who would provide a spot, but again, it comes down to money. Is there enough money to be made when you don't have the cable rights fees that go along with the regional sports network? So it's a really complicated situation. I guess it's an unfortunate situation. I say that because for the average fan out there, I don't think they're going to be impacted next year. The games are going to be on TV. They're going to be available direct to consumer in some sort of streaming platform if that's how you're going to get them. It's just, where are you going to go find them next year? That's going to be the question.
Matt Pauley, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you for being with us. We have Monday Night Football tonight, so you do not have Sports Open Line, correct?
Correct. I have Rush Hour Sports and also a programming note, the Countdown Show this week, which is generally on Thursdays.
You're moving it again?
It's going to be on Tuesday this week.
Dude, stop moving it on me.
Sorry.
And so what about next week on New Year's Day? Is it going to be moved?
Same deal, Tuesday.
So, oh my God, come on, man. I've been telling everybody Thursdays.
Well, we got this week on Thursday. It's literally Christmas Day and New Year's Day.
So listen to sports. You're going to watch sports. There's going to be football on Christmas Day. You'll be watching.
There is 3 NFL
so people
games
can
on
listen to
Christmas
Countdown
Day.
Opening Day.
Okay.
That's fun. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Above my head.
All right. Hey, Matt, we appreciate you. Bear down.
I appreciate you guys. All right.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
That is Matt Pauley. Rush Hour Sports, 5 o'clock every weekday on 104.1 FM KMOX. Speaking of the football was good this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was real good. And neither of us participated in the Pick'em Challenge.
That's why it was great.
You were out. I was out. Michael Kelly, John Hancock did, however. Let's find out how they did. We'll do that next on KMOX.
But first, I do want to thank all of you who have donated to my virtual red kettle for the Salvation Army at salarmy.us/Amy Mark Scores, salarmy.us/Amy Mark Scores. We are about halfway there to the goal. Thank you again so much to everyone who's given. Thank you to everyone who has shown up at the physical red kettle outside local grocery stores and Walmart, wherever you run into the red kettle. Thank you to those who have registered to ring. Register to ring.com. Still an opportunity, a few more days if you want to ring the bell. It's going to be warm, so that's great. Okay, we are closing in on our goal for this year's Red Kettle campaign. Our goal this year is $5.6 million. That's right, because like I mentioned, the need from our neighbors is greater than ever before because of economic challenges as well as the tornadoes that hit the area. So if you've been thinking, how do I donate to St. Louis? How do I help the people that live on my street who work with me? That's through the Salvation Army. Super low overhead. So 90 cents of every dollar goes to helping neighbors in need, and 100% of that stays in the St. Louis area. I love it, whether it's putting meals on a table, making sure a child has a gift underneath a Christmas tree, helping a veteran struggling with homelessness or addiction. The Salvation Army is there. Join me and the Salvation Army at salarmy.us/Amy Mark Scores.
Nominations for the 2026 Women of Achievement are now open. The St. Louis Area Award is the oldest ongoing program in the area whose sole mission is to honor and recognize the volunteer service and volunteer leadership of women. If you know an outstanding volunteer in the St. Louis metropolitan area, or if you are one, Women of Achievement wants to hear from you. Nominations, including self-nominations, may be submitted now through January 11th. Head to KMOX.com for more information.
This holiday season, when you get them STIHL, batteries are included. Buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit STIHLUSA.com for gift ideas and seasonal savings. Happy holidays from STIHL. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Need parts fast? Need them now? O'Reilly is fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly Auto Parts stand apart. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 Brake Best Select rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10 more. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20 more. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Chris Ranchi, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
He unloads. Deep ball for DJ Moore. Inside the 5. Leaps in the end zone. Over the shoulder catch. Touchdown. The Bears walk off winners. Finally, they rejoice in Chicago.
I'm happy for you.
Happy for me. Hey, I'm happy for Nate Gatter, KMOX guy. You know, you might hear him on this station a lot, actually.
On this show
Filling
sometimes.
in. Sometimes he's filled in on this show. He was on the call for Bears-Packers from Soldier Field over the weekend. What a game that was. For Westwood One, you actually heard that game right here on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Quick note, if you're not watching the Chris and Amy show on YouTube or the Facebook or Twitter.
Which you should.
You should, because you can see Chris Ranji's Christmas Bears hat, which is actually adorable.
Look, here's my Christmas Bears hat. Let me lean into the camera for
It's
you.
a bear's head. It's the Bears logo. Is that mistletoe all around it?
It's holly.
Oh, it's holly.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, by gosh, by golly.
Yes.
It's time for Bears and holly.
Yeah.
So, dude, I know we got to get to the no prize pick'em, which you and I did not participate in, but Michael Kelly, John Hancock did, along with Reed Lowe, who was our celebrity picker.
Mm-hmm.
And we had our guest picker, who was, what's his name? Ben.
Yeah.
Ben. Where's Ben from?
Had a frog in my throat there. But I think, we didn't really find that out about Ben.
But you didn't find anything about Ben?
We didn't know much about Ben. We didn't talk to Reed Lowe much either, to be honest.
You didn't talk to Ben very much?
Apparently, they've never done the football pick'em before.
Well,
I think Hancock and Kelly put their own spin on it.
They usually do.
Yeah, which involved way less football.
So
and way less talking to Reed Lowe and Ben.
I think Reed Lowe might have been our listener.
That's so funny. Did they know who Reed Lowe
Yes,
was?
yes.
Okay.
Pretty sure
All right.
during the show, Matt texted me, uh-oh.
That's awesome. So we would like to congratulate Michael Kelly because all 4 contestants got 4 answers correct. And the tiebreaker was the score, the total points in the Sunday night game last night. And Michael Kelly was perfect. He got them all right, 52 points. And so good job by him. And I would like to also thank Mr. Kelly and thank Reed Lowe for picking the Bears, which means John Hancock and Ben can both go straight to hell because they picked the Packers to win.
I've got to point out that, again, John Hancock picked the total amount of points scored in Sunday Night Football to be 73.
Dude, what is with him? I think every time he's filled in for you, Amy, on a pick'em day, he goes with like 88 points or something.
Have you ever heard of the phrase weaponized incompetence? I think he does that during the football pick'em.
Yes.
On purpose. It's like he's getting back at us.
I think he's absolutely doing it on purpose.
I think it's vengeful.
Can I just? I just want to say this.
70.
This past Saturday had to have been my best football day ever as a fan, ever. And you could say, well, the Super Bowl in '85 when they won the Super Bowl, I was like 7 years old. I kind of remember it,
It's 40 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of remember it. It was a long time. And so I was young. It's hard to really enjoy it back when you're 6, 7 years old. Like, what's going on, but you don't. So that day, Saturday, beating the Packers the way they did on a last second, come from behind. They were down 10 points in the fourth quarter. They were down 10 points, actually, with about 4 minutes to go and able to come back, getting the onside kick, and then, scoring the touchdown. And I went up to Chicago, went to my friend's bar to watch. By the way, you should go to Almost Home if you're ever up in Wrigleyville and you're going to a Cardinals-Cubs series. Great place to go. It's a little off the path, not too far off, but if you want to be away from the real Wrigley mess, great spot to go. And just jam-packed with people who are Bears fans, and the place was up for grabs. That was a lot of fun. Also, how about my Birds? The Illinois State Redbirds will play for a national championship because they won
In what?
Football. FCS championship. They are going to play in the FCS championship game on January 5th. Why are you laughing?
It's like high school football.
Like, are you confused? It is.
I didn't know what league.
So it's D1, but they play a different schedule. So it's like Missouri Valley Conference.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Missouri Valley Conference.
That's awesome.
Right. So Missouri State used to be in it. They took the leap to Division I. Could you stop distracting me? I'm trying to talk here, dummies. So Missouri State was in this league.
Yeah.
They have made the leap to D1. This past season was their first season in it. But they do play some D1 schools. Like, it is possible. Illinois State played Oklahoma this year. And they lost by a lot because Oklahoma is far and away better.
Because Missouri
right?
State, I think, hosted or went to a big team. They got pounded, but
usually,
yeah.
Yes, usually that's what happens with the schools in this in the FCS. So,
well, the only reason I was joking is because you went there, but that's actually very exciting. Anytime you get a school anywhere in the area, or it's fun.
It was awesome, man. So they will play a national title game in Nashville, where Vanderbilt plays their games. That's where the national championship is going to be, against Montana State.
I want to go to Montana.
So you've heard of North Dakota State, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the team that's always winning national championships in this division. For whatever reason, they're just amazing at football. So we beat them, though. No big deal. Not trying to brag. When we come back, Andrew Egger is going to join the show, our St. Louisan and also White House correspondent for the Bulwark. He'll be with us when we come back on KMOX. Hour 3 is next.
Great news, Nick. Legacy boxes are still in stock. With Christmas just around the corner, there's still time to buy the best Christmas gift ever. Legacy Box.
That's right, Adam. Order today and Legacy Box ships immediately. It'll arrive ready to wrap and place under the tree.
Gather the family together this Christmas and collect all your old VHS and camcorder tapes, slides, pictures, and film reels. Then you can binge on the good old days.
From fading over time to risks like fire and water damage, your memories aren't protected unless they're on a digital format. Legacy Box helps you replay those great moments from the past, from Christmas morning to your wedding day.
Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box.
This Christmas is the time to digitize. Visit legacybox.com/value for exclusive holiday savings. That's legacybox.com/value for last-minute shopping. legacybox.com/value.
Hey, Missouri, if you haven't heard by now, FanDuel Sportsbook is live here in the Show Me State, and they're kicking things off with an offer that is really tough to beat. So right now, new customers can bet $5 and then get $300 in bonus bets. Whether you win or lose that initial $5 bet, you get those $300 bonus bets either direction. And it doesn't matter what you're choosing. Whether it's football, basketball, hockey, you can bet it all on an app that is safe, secure, and super easy to use. I've been on it since the app launched years ago. I just couldn't play in Missouri until now. Now I get to, and you can do. So download FanDuel today or head to FanDuel.com/Missouri to join in on the excitement, because Missouri, It's time to play your game with FanDuel. Remember, 21 and older and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Ron Kraszewski, Chairman and CEO of Stifel. As the year comes to a close, I want to thank our clients, colleagues, and communities for your trust and support. We're especially proud of the Stifel U.S. ski team. Their drive, resilience, and pursuit of their goals this winter reminds us what's possible when we stay committed. From all of us at Stifel, we wish you and your family a joyful holiday season and a new year filled with health, happiness, and success. Stifel, where success meets success.
Celebrating 100 years and wishing you the best of the holiday season. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet. Unlock your e-price and save. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com during the Genesis Signature Event. Based on GMA sales records for 2024. See dealer for details.
It is 11:01 and we've got clouds in downtown St. Louis, 44 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey. A suspected cyber attack has knocked France's National Postal Service and its banking arm offline during the busy Christmas season. Hours before airtime on Sunday, CBS News 60 Minutes shelved a planned story on President Trump's deportation policy and the El Salvadorian prison CICOT at the order of the network's new editor-in-chief, Barry Weiss, because the Trump administration would not comment, so she said the story was incomplete. Just as many nonprofits need it most because of federal funding cuts, a new AP NORC poll finds that most Americans aren't making end-of-year charitable giving plans. Weaker income gains and steep price inflation means that households have less money to redistribute. Federal prosecutors and the FBI announced 2 arrests in St. Clair County as part of a nationwide effort targeting child sex predators. KMOX's Brad Choate has more.
During the recently concluded Operation Relentless Justice Detail from December 3rd through the 17th, there were nearly 300 arrests made across the country. Former Marissa police officer 31-year-old Robert Jakowski of Granite City faces a charge of child pornography transportation after his arrest in St. Clair County. The other arrest there involves an Allen, Texas man named Matthew Neville. The 27-year-old Neville is accused of traveling across state lines with the intent to engage in illicit sexual conduct with a minor, enticement of a minor, and sexual exploitation of a minor.
Federal data used to draft Missouri's formula for calculating state aid to Missouri public schools no longer exists. The U.S. Department of Education confirms that the wage index, which measures the salaries of college graduates by region, was deemed non-essential. Another set of data thought to be a workaround solution is also going to go dark. The working groups were supposed to complete their work this week so they could report to the Missouri School Funding Modernization Task Force, which is scheduled to review a new plan in January. From the business desk sponsored by Krenz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, the fortunes of the nation's bourbon industry have changed dramatically.
The maker of Jim Beam Bourbon has announced it will shut down production at its main distillery in Kentucky for all of next year. U.S. bourbon and whiskey companies have been caught caught up in the Trump administration's tariff war and have faced retaliatory import taxes. Sales have also been down as fewer Americans drink hard liquor.
CBS's Jim Krasula says the Kentucky Distillers Association says the amount of bourbon in warehouses across Kentucky is at a record high of more than 16 million barrels. The weather sponsored by Four Pretty Paws Mobile Pet Spa. They come to you.
Clouds and a few peaks of sunshine this afternoon, our high reaching 55, then partly to mostly cloudy skies tonight, though 46. Intervals of clouds and sun tomorrow with a high around 60. Wednesday, Christmas Eve, will be mostly cloudy and even warmer, the high 67. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Cloudy and 44 degrees right now. FourPrettyPaws.com. Since 2018, Four Pretty Paws Mobile Pet Spa has provided stress-free one-on-one grooming right at your doorstep. Convenient, personal, and trusted. Book your holiday appointment at FourPrettyPaws.com, now serving Southern Illinois. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It's Christmas week, so naturally it's going to be 75 degrees maybe on Christmas Day, which is just enraging.
It's offensive.
I've been irate since the forecast has been pretty firmed up here.
To be fair,
come on, man.
You're in a general state of being irate most of
Well, now
the
I'm
time.
really, this is the worst it's ever been. I've never been angrier.
Speaking of irate.
Oh, Andrew Egger.
That's right. He's
always
joining
mad
us
about
now.
something. White House correspondent for The Bulwark and the co-author of the Morning Shots newsletter, which you should subscribe to, and St. Louis. And he is in St. Louis right now, and he's coming to us from what looks like a really nice library.
I'm so jealous. Wherever you're coming to us from.
Thanks, guys. I got a lot of problems with you people, and you're about to hear about them. So let's not get too happy.
Well, that's tomorrow.
Let's keep the anger rolling.
That's so the Festivus is tomorrow, so we're not celebrating early.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Keep the powder dry on that.
I do like to think that at the Bulwark, they will have feats of strength.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, like you said, I'm in St. Louis, so who knows what's going on back at the main office these days? But yeah, it could be.
All right, so we're keeping an eye on Washington, D.C., and I'll just get this question out of the way because
I'd rather it be Washington State. Let's just talk about Washington State for now.
I'll get this question out of the way, Andrew, because Chris and I have decided to name some classic St. Louis monuments and fixtures after ourselves. So right now we do want to do the Chris and Amy Thomas Eagleton Courthouse and the Chris Ranji and the Stan Musial Bridge.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
In
Excellent.
honor of the president renaming the Kennedy Center, is this something that will have any lasting power since the Kennedy Center was initially named by statute?
Well, obviously, a lot of that's going to come down to who takes the White House next, right? I mean, we've seen this sort of thing a lot under this administration where, they have a real fervor for renaming things, even things that technically they really shouldn't be renaming. I mean, the Department of Defense was the early obvious one. That's a department that has a name in U.S. law. It's the Defense Department. They renamed it the Department of War because it turns out, the law might say one thing, but if you are in charge of the people who actually put the letters up on the building and who control the websites and things like that, you can kind of just live your life as though the Department of Defense actually is the Department of War. And that's been kind of the same thing with the Kennedy Center, which has been one of Donald Trump's big time kind of hobby horses this year. Obviously, he has a lot of more important things to manage on a daily basis, but he has really taken a shine to micromanaging various parts of the Kennedy Center, which is obviously the sort of premier arts venue in D.C. that's run by the federal government. He had himself appointed chairman of the board, and now he has put his name on the building. Yes, like you mentioned, it is the law that the thing is not called the Donald J. Trump and John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts, but simply the John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts. Donald Trump is not dead, so it's not really clear why he would want to have a Donald J. Trump Memorial Center. But yes, for the time being, until such time as somebody else comes up who wants to give the order to take those letters off the building, that at least is what will be printed on the side.
I will say, it's a long story, but I have a running route that I've named after this guy that we run with, the Mike Smith Memorial hilly route, and I always have to say he's not dead. Like, he's not dead, but we call it the memorial. So that's maybe what they'll have to say now is he's not dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you're remembering him when you're on the route, so there's something to that. Yeah.
Right.
So, okay. Is there any indication that people, even privately, who might be aligned with the president or in the Republican Party, that they think stuff like this is kind of absurd, but they're not going to say anything about it? But is there any indication that maybe privately they're all like, come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah, there are certainly people who sort of roll their eyes at this or this sort of thing, or think that this sort of thing is sort of beneath the president's notice in one way or another. But it's not as though this is. I mean, when you think about kind of the MAGA mind, the MAGA imagination, I mean, the truer thing to say is just that people like that don't really focus on stuff like this, right? I mean, like these are these sort of mini outrages that crop up in sort of certain media diets and sort of mainstream media or on, you know, left-leaning media, things like that, that are sort of evocative of you know, one pathology or another in the mind of the president, or one norm or another that the president is getting rid of. You know, it's very, very unusual for a sitting president to have things named after him. Even living presidents are not often you know, honored in this way. You know, there's plans for Donald Trump, for instance, to try to get his face on $1 coins next year, which would be another just super breach of precedent in this way. But this is one of the things about this White House is that everything is so sort of controversial, and there are so many different things that become these sort of polarizing partisan moments, and there's so much to chew on and digest all the time, even at far more, you know, consequential matters of policy than this, that a lot of times things like this just sort of slip through. And there are some people who would argue that those are that state of play, you know, that state of play where things are just kind of slipping through because there's no real like attention to be able to be given to all the little ways in which the norms are being changed, that these might be some of the longer lasting ramifications of this particular presidency, not just that his name would be on the Kennedy Center or anything like that, but just this sort of pattern of presidents, you know, being a little more shameless about this sort of thing, this sort of self-promotion, this sort of self-aggrandizement, and this sort of ability and willingness to play fast and loose with even silly little rules in law, like what buildings are named.
Andrew, kind of doing a 180 here. This goes to a piece that I saw in the Bulwark by your colleague Sam Stein about a pediatric cancer bill that had been really, really big in the cancer community, that they've tried to pass this single piece of legislation for years. And it looked like they were about to do that. And Bernie Sanders got in the way. And as Sam Stein noted, that again, he mentioned agonizing setbacks and private negotiations to try to get this pediatric cancer bill passed. And on Wednesday night, they thought they were going to see it passed, so much so that those in the cancer community were given a heads up, and there were even 3 kids who are bereaved siblings of cancer victims and a pediatric cancer survivor were in the Senate gallery, and then it failed.
Yeah, it's a horrible story, and it kind of gets at I think some of the ways in which Congress is unlike what you would sort of imagine Congress to be like, because you would sort of think that like there's this bill with these extremely compelling narratives behind it. It's a good piece of policy. Essentially what the bill would do is, not to get too into the weeds, but just make it easier for kids with cancer to you know, try certain like moonshot techniques, and for companies to test various combinations of you know, drugs that haven't been you know, studied before, make it easier for them to study them, particularly in a pediatric environment, specifically to target cancer in kids. So it's a bill that has overwhelming support. People want it to pass. Big majorities in both houses of Congress want to get it passed. But the problem is that, you know, it's not just enough to want a piece of legislation passed. You need to find kind of a window in the sort of current churn of stuff that's going on in both houses. It has to be able to, you know, get through in specific ways. There are specific techniques that you know, you would either need to attach it to a bigger piece of legislation, which is what they tried to do a year ago, and then Elon Musk kind of blew that up, or you need to what they tried to do yesterday, earlier this week, last week, I should say, is pass it by unanimous consent, where you kind of short circuit a lot of the sort of normal procedure that takes up a lot of time. You just bring it up on the floor. You're like, if nobody has a problem with this, we pass it. And what Bernie Sanders said then was that he was not happy. He basically said this bill's not good enough. He basically said a year ago we had this paired with a couple of other healthcare initiatives that are really important. I still think we should pass all of those bills. I don't think we should just take this one out and put it in. And so he was because the bill required unanimous consent, that was enough to keelhaul that effort right then. But it's a big setback again for the people who have been, they might also, all these other advocates who might also think that these other measures might be important or useful in one way or another, but who have just been lobbying for this particular thing with, again, just this really compelling story and all this tragedy that has gone behind it. And a lot of these people who have suffered these losses and have poured sort of a lot of their emotions around that into, well, let's try to get this particular thing passed so that other people don't have to go through this. And hopefully this is not the end for this bill, but at the very least, it is a very frustrating and heartbreaking, really, setback, at least for these families.
Yeah. Meanwhile, for the Affordable Care Act, those subsidies are going to expire unless something changes next month. What's the likelihood that they are able to get something done? Because we've heard stories, people have gotten letters that have said their premiums are going to skyrocket. So what is the likelihood of them fixing that before it becomes a real problem?
Well, before it becomes a real problem, that's the easy question. The likelihood of them fixing it before it becomes a real problem is zero. These premium hike. I mean, what are we, like a week away from the new year? This is going into effect. These subsidies are going to expire at least for a short period of time. People are going to feel them, and the question is just, will they kind of backfill some solution? And that's a much harder question to answer because everybody sort of recognizes that this is a political hot potato. Nobody wants to be left kind of holding the bag for just this big increase in premium prices for something like 20 million Americans. But there's zero agreement, especially on the Republican side, about what stopping that or solving that would look like. Democrats have a pretty straightforward path here. They're like, we'll just put it back the way it was, right? And then, the cliff will go away and there won't be any problems. Republicans have a lot of objections to that. Some of them are more reasonable than others. I mean, it is true that this program was just kind of created during the pandemic. It was originally envisioned as sort of a stopgap thing rather than just like these subsidies will be in place forever sort of thing. So you can understand why Republicans on some level would be like, well, let's not make those permanent. Let's not just sort of roll over and have that be the way it goes. But the fiscal cliff that's there and the way that it is so tied to this specific piece of policy has them wanting to pass some sort of thing that would at least ease this blow. But there are a bunch of different Republican strategies for what that would look like. They're not even kind of united behind one plan now. And so it's so hard to look forward to the future, in particular because this may end up getting tied to the next government shutdown, funding cliff, which is about 6 weeks away now. And again, obviously, this was a big bone of contention during the last shutdown, which was the longest in U.S. history. So trying to game it out beyond that is probably beyond my predictive powers. But I will say it's everyone recognizes that it is a major political problem, but that does not mean we're anywhere close to any kind of solution or fix.
Andrew, I just saw in the Wall Street Journal that immigrants living in the U.S. illegally could see an exit bonus that was tripled to $3,000 if they voluntarily leave the country by the end of the year. So they've tripled the exit bonus from $1,000 to $3,000 to those who self-deport. How does this work, and has it been effective?
So it's a little hard to tell. First of all, we don't have very good numbers on the extent of the people taking them up on this offer, the extent of people trying to leave the country without taking them up on this offer. When this policy was first rolled out, and I don't remember exactly when it was, the original exit bonus 6 months ago or something like that. It was sort of billed as the carrot versus the stick. I mean, obviously we've seen all of the headlines of the increased deportation enforcement and people, ICE officers, chasing people to their work or dragging them out of cars and things like that. And that's the stick, right? That's we're going to catch you, we're going to deport you, and once we catch you and deport you, we're going to make sure you don't come back. This other thing was billed as if you are in the country illegally and you don't want to have to potentially go through all that, leave on your own. We will actually help you do that. We'll put you on a flight, we'll get you back where you're going, and we'll give you a little bit of cash to help you get there as well. And potentially that does not close you off from coming back legally later. It was kind of the way that Kristi Noem and DHS billed this. If they are now increasing that amount, that perhaps suggests that they're not getting the sort of pickup on that plan or on that argument, on that pitch that they were hoping to get. At the same time, it's become a little complicated because there have been reports of people who are trying to kind of follow that plan, who are trying to leave the country voluntarily, who are then being kind of scooped up at the border and then processed, even like physically as they're in the act of trying to leave the country, processed as though they are being caught and deported, which again actually does foreclose the possibility for them of under the current administration's rules of potentially coming back later. So it's a bit of a mess. It has a little bit to do with the fact that quotas of deportations and quotas of detentions are a big deal inside of DHS right now. That's the White House is constantly putting a lot of pressure on them to get those numbers up. But this is one way in which you could see it becoming kind of like a two different administration policies working kind of at cross purposes with each other, making that program a little less effective.
Andrew Egger, good to talk to you as always. We want you to enjoy being at home with your family and glad you're back in St. Louis. Thank you for talking with us again today.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
That is the White House correspondent for The Bulwark and the Morning Shots newsletter. He is a co-author of that, Andrew Egger, St. Louisan, joining us every Monday on the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
3-2 delivery. On its way.
There, when he became a hometown hero.
Swinging a high drive to center field. Get up, baby. Get up, baby. Get up. Oh, yeah. David Freese has just sent us into game number 7. This series is tied 3-3 with a walk-off home run here in the bottom of the 11th inning.
This team deserves this, and this organization is top-notch, and these fans are unbelievable, and they are the best fans in baseball. This is definitely a dream come true.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by the Polar Express at St. Louis Union Station. Get your tickets now at stlpolarexpressride.com.
Great news, Nick. Legacy boxes are still in stock. With Christmas just around the corner, there's still time to buy the best Christmas gift ever. Legacy Box.
That's right, Adam. Order today and Legacy Box ships immediately. It'll arrive ready to wrap and place under the tree.
Gather the family together this Christmas and collect all your old VHS and camcorder tapes, slides, pictures, and film reels. Then you can binge on the good old days.
From fading over time to risks like fire and water damage, your memories aren't protected unless they're on a digital format. Legacy Box helps you replay those great moments from the past, from Christmas morning to your wedding day.
Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box.
This Christmas is the time to digitize. Visit legacybox.com/value for exclusive holiday savings. That's legacybox.com/value for last-minute shopping. legacybox.com/value.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
The holidays are here, filled with laughter, family, and memories. But if you're missing the punchline, the conversation, or even the music, it might be time to check your hearing. Hi, I'm Charlie Brennan.
I'm Dr. Bosler with the Audiology Center.
And I'm Dr. Voss. This season, we want you to hear every moment.
Hearing aids today can process sound faster than before. They're smarter at separating the speech from the background noise, meaning that when you're at the holiday parties this season, you'll hear the voices that you want to hear, clearer than before.
So don't wait until the new year. Give yourself the gift of better hearing today and reconnect with the people and the moments that matter most.
Call the Audiology Center, 636-441-7470, or online, theaudiologycenterstl.com. 3 convenient locations.
Call us today and make this holiday season better than last year's. Here for the holidays, here for life.
This holiday season, when you get them Steel, batteries are included. Buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for gift ideas and seasonal savings. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
This is Justin Brown with Krinz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. As retirement approaches, one question matters most. How will you replace your paycheck? With decades of experience, we've helped retirees turn uncertainty into clarity through personalized income planning and steady guidance. Our proactive strategies are designed so you can enjoy the retirement you worked your lifetime for, with clarity, confidence, and peace of mind. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, member FINRA/SIPC. Krinz Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
Hey, it is Proud St. Louis and Andy Cohen here wishing the voice of St. Louis, KMOX Radio, a happy 100th birthday.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 KMOX, sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers.
Seems like everyone else has the same talents except for me.
You have lots of talents.
You changed the batteries in the smoke detector?
You sure did. Triple A's. In 6 months, you'll have to check them again, won't you?
All right. There was recently in St. Louis a tall people meetup, Grange, which is funny that we're playing that with Elf.
Oh my God, that's
You
the
did
whole.
that.
I mean, Amy.
I totally missed it.
Well, the reason we're playing this is.
I hit my head. Okay.
Okay, Kevin.
I totally missed it. Oh my
dude.
gosh.
Yes, because he was taller than everybody else. Because
That's
he
why
wasn't
he
an
changed
elf.
the
Yes,
batteries.
That's why,
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. I am so slow today. Dozens of people gathered for the Tall People Meetup. Now, here's the thing. The Tall People Meetup was to promote, quote, visibility and belonging for tall people in the St. Louis area.
Nice.
Who often feel like outliers in everyday social settings because of their height. Here's the thing. I'm not against this in principle. Okay, let me just lay that out. I'm not against it in principle. What I disagree with is the criterion for this, the parameters, if you will. The Tall People Meetup was for any women taller than 5'8" and for any men taller than 6 feet. And let me tell you, if you are a man who's 6 feet tall or 6'1", you don't feel left out because you're so tall. Isn't the whole problem with dating apps is that women want guys who are 6 feet tall, and so guys will lie about being 6 feet tall? Saying that you need a meetup for a guy who is 6 feet tall is like saying you need a meetup because you're just so attractive that you don't fit in anywhere. So you need a meetup with other attractive people. I feel like the parameters were a little too generous. If you're 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", and I have a few friends who are that tall, I get it. That can be, you can feel unusual. I have one of my girlfriends is 6'2". She was a professional volleyball player. That's tall. That's tall for a female. But 5'8" for a female, you feel left out. I would pay $1 million to be 5'8", and most guys want to be 6 feet tall. Don't you feel like
All right, so
that's too
let
short?
me. Okay, let me.
This is upsetting to me.
Let me just say.
You two.
For us tall men, it's sometimes people look at us like, look at that big ogre, and they're afraid. They cross the
Not
street, they
because
go
of
the
your
other
height.
side. They go to the other side of the street because they think you're going to take their purse, which we're not.
Hey, can you grab something off the top shelf for me? I've heard that one before.
Yeah.
I mean, these two.
It's terrible.
These two gentlemen waltzing around at what are you, 6'3" and 6'2", 6'3",
yeah.
whatever it is you are. You guys don't, quote, stand out because you're tall.
We stand out because we're so good looking.
That's right. Handsome.
That's why you're on radio.
Well, okay, it is a benefit, I think, and this is just my perception, of being, if you're a man, it's a lot better to be tall, I think, right? I think there's an appeal to it.
6
I think
feet
it's
is not
probably
like so tall that you're an outcast.
but I think it's tougher to be a female and be tall. Because, again, like we're talking about, there's a thing that men want to be taller than their girlfriends or their wives. There's a stigma to it. If you're not, people judge you and they make, oh, look, she's taller than him. It's just one of those things that usually I think a lot of dudes try to avoid. And I don't think you should have to. It doesn't matter.
Here's
right?
what I know.
So being a woman and being tall is probably a lot more challenging. It's good in some, you could play volleyball or you could play basketball.
You look
That's great.
amazing in clothes.
Right, but it is probably tougher to find height-appropriate mates if you're into that kind of thing.
I don't need a height-appropriate mate. Every supermodel is taller than 5'8". They're all tall. And I don't feel sorry for Carly Kloss. I think, wow, that's amazing.
I think a lot of men are intimidated by tall women. So it might be more challenging for women in that aspect of life.
That's assuming you want to meet somebody.
Right. I'm saying in that aspect of life, it can be.
Well, I just think I get it. Like I said, my tall friends who are 5'11", 6 feet, 6'1", 6'2", who are female, I get it. That can be challenging. Men, though, 6 feet tall, that's what they want. No one's feeling sorry for a guy because he's 6 feet tall. I get it if you're 6'8". That's tough.
Hey, Missouri, if you haven't heard by now, FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me states and kicking things off with an offer really tough to beat. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So, football, basketball, hockey, whatever you're into, do it on an app that is safe, secure, and really easy to use. You can get that FanDuel app on the App Store or Google Play, whatever you use. Or you can also go to FanDuel.com/Missouri and get in on the excitement because guess what, Show Me States? It is time to play your game with FanDuel. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. It is the Chris and Amy Show. When we come back, Mike Bush will join the show. He has announced his retirement, and we'll talk to him next on KMOX.
December 24th marks a century of KMOX. 100 years as the voice of St. Louis. To celebrate, enjoy a day of special KMOX Day broadcasts featuring 10 hours of programming beginning at 8 a.m. A full day honoring the legendary voices, groundbreaking programming, and unforgettable moments that shaped a century of service. Join us December 24th. Presented by Purina, your pet, our passion. KMOX, 100 years as the voice of St. Louis. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Well, it is cloudier than it was before, looking out the windows of Studio B, and that's how it's going to be today. Clouds and sun, a high of 55. Currently, it is 47. Tonight, still cloudy and a low of 43.
Sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers. Take it to Telly.
One little light can stall out your entire day, the check engine light. So I reached out to my go-to problem solver. Dad, what do? He didn't miss a beat. Take it to Telly, he said. So I did. But they didn't just fix my car, they fixed my day. Take it to Telly.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
When life happens and you need to sell your St. Louis area home, call trusted realtor Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria is St. Louis's real estate expert with more than 22 years of experience and expertise, helping you sell quickly and for the most money.
Selling your home can be so stressful, especially when life happens, like a sudden job change, a passing of a loved one, or a growing family. Knowing exactly how much your home will sell in today's market is the first step. Then I back it up with an upfront written guarantee. My guarantee is simple and easy to understand. If I can't sell your home at our agreed upon price and time frame, I'll buy it myself.
When life happens, the name to remember is Gloria Liu, your home sold guaranteed realty. I strongly suggest you call her right now at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Get ready for Monday Night Football as the 49ers take on the Colts.
Seitzman Cancer Center game time, 6 p.m. Seitzman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
It's Monday Night Football on America's Sports Voice, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Well, Amy and I were talking about this in the office earlier, that we can't remember time that there was no Mike Bush on TV here in St. Louis. I mean, it did happen because I was 7. I think it was about 7 years old when he came on the scene here in St. Louis, and all of us famously remember the Bob and Mike promos on Channel 5 back in the day. Well, Mike Bush, after a long, fantastic career at KSDK, has decided that he will retire in 2026, and he joins us now on KMOX on the Chris and Amy Show. Mike, it is good to have you with us. How are you doing?
Boy, you're making me feel old. You were 7 years old. You were 7 years old.
I was 2.
Oh my
I mean, you were only 9.
Well,
so...
now you know why I'm retiring.
Well, but see, I mean, that's a good point. But I will say, like, to Ranji's point, there's no, in my mind, my entire life, there's no St. Louis news without Mike Bush. Like, you're part of it. A big part.
I appreciate that, and I've been very, very lucky. I'm like the luckiest guy in the whole world. When I was a kid, all I wanted to do is get into broadcasting. I was able to do that. I moved. My first job was in Tucson, Arizona, where I went to school. Then I went to New Orleans, Kansas City, and when I came to St. Louis 40 and a half years ago, I didn't know if it would just be another stop, but it turned out to be, the best professional decision I ever made coming here and staying here. And St. Louis is home, and I've been very lucky that St. Louisans have allowed me to come into their homes all these years.
Can you remember a time or a moment where you realized this was going to be your forever home, or did it happen gradually and you looked up and went, oh, man, I'm here forever, and I guess this is where I'll stay?
Well, I was lucky enough. I had been here about 2 years, and I was lucky enough to get a job offer at ESPN. I was doing sports at the time, and ESPN was, they Sports Center became a big thing, and I really, was mulling it over. Should I do this? Should I do this? And when I sat down and talked to my wife, the conversation was, are you happy here? Do you feel comfortable here? We love St. Louis, and that was the decision. You never know if, they're going to renew your contract or what's going to happen, but this always felt like home to me. And, I've raised my kids here, so St. Louis is home. And so I think that not going to ESPN was probably the decision that made me decide this is the place I want to be.
Well, as you mentioned, you started as a sports reporter back in 1985 with KSDK. Was sports always your passion? Did you know or want to move into the news?
Yeah, no, I had an opportunity to move to news a few years earlier, and I turned it down. Sports was always my passion, and we were doing this Sunday night sports show called Sports Plus back in the day, and it was so much fun to do because fortunately the ratings were good, and when you get good ratings, you get a little autonomy, and so we could pretty much do what we wanted with that show. And, for instance, if NBC would have some kind of series, they used to have mini series, and they would have something like the 80s. So we would play off of that and do an 80s Sports Plus or a 70s Sports Plus or a 60s Sports Plus, whatever it might be. And that autonomy doesn't really exist much in television news. It doesn't exist at all when you go into the news department because there's a lot of cooks in that pot. So that was a lot of fun. And since I was a kid, I wanted to do sports. So getting to do it here and covering the Cardinals from the 80s and the Whitey Herzog era was just a blast.
Yeah, that was probably the best time to break in, I suppose unless you were coming in during the 2006 to 2011 and 13 run and all of that. But in the 80s, there was something very special about that era of Cardinals baseball.
There really was. And I was really lucky because I came here in 85. In the first half of the season, I was in Kansas City, so I covered the Royals. The second half of the season, I'm in St. Louis, and I'm covering the Cardinals. And I was like right in the middle of it, so I knew players on both sides. And obviously, I didn't like the way the World Series ended, nor did any St. Louis in 1985. But I was just very lucky to be in that position.
Yeah, you think of, all the different teams that you've seen with the Cardinals and the Blues. Also, the St. Louis Rams and their stint here. Again, when you've been with the station for so long, you see really so much that becomes the identity of the city.
You really do. And again, you talk about luck. When the Rams moved to St. Louis, they in 1999, they had just finished 4-12. They asked me to do the play-by-play on the radio, and they won the freaking Super Bowl. So I was in the middle. I remember being in Atlanta and being in the radio booth about to go on the air and thinking, holy cow, I'm about to broadcast a Super Bowl. And then they won the darn thing. So every step of the way, I've just been very lucky.
I mentioned right off the top the promos with Bob Richards, who was a very popular meteorologist here in St. Louis. You were the popular sports guy. Zipper Zeppa was a big deal here, too, around that time. But, having those promos, I fondly remember all of those and used to look forward to seeing them. The news business for us is different than it used to be back then. But that
sure.
What a special time that was, though.
It really was.
And
that's
promos
another
resonate.
Thing.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I always say is I was very lucky to come up in the time that I did. When I was at Channel 5 in the 80s, early 90s, cable really didn't have deep penetration in St. Louis. And so pretty much at 10 o'clock at night, people watched 2, 4, 5, or Channel 11. Those were the options. And fortunately, we were doing pretty well at Channel 5. And so they started those promos. Let me tell you, we would go out to Los Angeles to shoot those promos. It was a film company. I remember the first time we went out, we shot like 2 or 3, in a few days. There was a trailer with my name on it, like they're filming a movie.
Oh my gosh.
I walked in and hair and makeup people. It was unbelievable. I'd never experienced anything like this before. Or since. And now the budget for each one of those commercials is probably more than the budget is for promotions, for an entire year or two at local TV stations these days.
That's wild. Just saying that, I think when something happens with the satellite here, Ranj has to go up, climb the ladder and fix the satellite.
Yeah, things have changed in radio too, yes.
Mike, what about the fact that here you are on Channel 5 and NBC forever and a day has hosted the Olympics.
Yeah. Well, I've been very lucky. I got to, I was a part of the Olympic torch relay in 96 and 2002. I mean, Jackie Joyner-Kersee handed off to me as I ran down Market Street. I mean, how amazing is that? And got to cover 2 Olympics in 96 and 2002. So that's been great. There've just been so many experiences. Someone asked me the other day, well, what's your favorite thing? It would be impossible for me to say what my favorite thing is. I can say that my favorite thing to do, despite all the amazing people I've met, is telling the stories of people who are making a difference in St. Louis, because I think we need to shine a spotlight on kindness and people, just going out of their way to help others. But, interviewing presidents or covering the Pope when in 2013 when Pope Francis was elected. I mean, those kinds of things will, stay with me forever.
Was it a challenge for, and I've done this a bit, not quite to the extent that you have, but being in sports for so long and then shifting over into news, and I know you said you had the offer a long time before and turned that down, but what was the challenge for you in doing that?
Well, so what changed for me, so I had been asked a couple of years before to move into news, and I just really didn't want to. I really was enjoying myself doing sports, and then 9/11 happened. And when you're a sportscaster and 9/11 happens, you feel pretty helpless. We didn't do sports, I think, for a week while that happened. And, I was trying to help the news department, get interviews and do whatever I could. But I realized that, the great thing about having done sports for so long is that, I had pretty much done it. And here was an opportunity to have another challenge. And so it wasn't an easy decision, but I made it. And then I did news for about a year, and it's depressing sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know there's some challenges that this city has, and lots of other cities too. And it's sometimes hard not to take it home with you. So that's when I went to the boss and I said, listen, is there any way I can start shining a light on people who we have to get some positive news on the news. So that's when we started our Making a Difference reports. And that's kind of kept me sane for all these years with all the bad news that happens all the time.
Mike, that's why we decided we're just going to talk about nonsense all the time, and there's never anything, never anything
that's
important
a good
on the show.
Move.
Well,
he's not joking. I mean, thank you for answering that question. Yeah, because I was going to ask you, how did you not lose your mind?
But there's also another part of this too, is that I think there's a great challenge in being a sports guy, and you've done that for so long, and that's how everybody knows you, and then you move over into the news realm. It's almost like, whoa, why am I listening to this sports guy talk about news? Was that a challenge for you?
Well, it is a challenge, and people have to accept you, and it probably took people a while. But the truth is, when you're doing local TV news, your job is to be a storyteller. And whether you're talking about Whitey Herzog or you're talking about Donald Trump or Barack Obama or whoever, I mean, you need to tell stories. You need to inform people, let them know what's going on, and try to stick to the facts. And so, after a period of time, I think people got used to it. And I do not regret the decision at all. I'm very happy I made that decision to move into news. And I've gotten to work with some great people and got to cover some amazing events. And so, the fact that I've been able to do both those things, like I say, I feel just very lucky.
Well, Mike Bush, we want to congratulate you on an awesome career. We appreciate you stopping by and talking with us. And in fact, when you finally do retire, maybe just come hang out with us every now and then. We'll keep you a little busy, but we are also not going to pay you.
We don't have any money.
We have no money.
Well, I understand that, but
well, Amy and I don't.
Yeah.
I may take you up on that offer.
Right.
That would be fun.
Great.
An honor to talk with you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. You guys have a good day.
You too.
Mike Bush. I didn't need to give him an outro. You already know who that is. He is decided to retire, and we wish him the best. Just really, really awesome to talk to Mike Bush. Yeah. Amy Mark scores Chris Ranji on KMOX. Don't forget the Gas House Gang at noon on 104.1 FM.
I am so excited to partner with the Salvation Army this year with their Red Kettle campaign. Very, very honored to be the chair. It's funny, of all the different things I've done, I've had more people come up to me and say, "You're the chair of the St. Louis Red Kettle campaign. That's such an honor." And it really is, because the Salvation Army does so much good work here in the greater St. Louis area, whether it is making sure that families can put food on the table for dinner, maybe providing gifts for children that otherwise wouldn't have anything to open on Christmas morning, helping our veterans who have served or are dealing with PTSD or mental illness, addiction, homelessness, helping moms who are in a difficult situation and need a safe place for them and their little ones to stay. The Salvation Army steps up day after day after day. We just spoke with Major Adam Moore, who said on Christmas morning he'll be visiting all the homes and making sure that all the kids that are staying with the Salvation Army can wake up on Christmas morning and see presents under the tree, because Santa Claus knows where they are. So if you want to help the Salvation Army, there's a number of ways you can volunteer your time, your efforts. You can go to registertoring.com if you want to ring the bell, or you can donate to my personal virtual Red Kettle. We're about halfway there. My virtual Red Kettle, salarmy.us/Amy Mark Scores, salarmy.us/Amy Mark Scores.
KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra and their monumental tour, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, to Enterprise Center December 23rd at 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. A portion of the proceeds benefits Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. TSO, timeless and everlasting. Don't miss the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, The Lost Christmas Eve, produced by Live Nation. For more details, KMOX.com/events.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available as a tablet or a delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
This is Ron Kraszewski, Chairman and CEO of Stifel. As the year comes to a close, I want to thank our clients, colleagues, and communities for your trust and support. We're especially proud of the Stifel U.S. Ski Team. Their drive, resilience, and pursuit of their goals this winter reminds us what's possible when we stay committed. From all of us at Stifel, we wish you and your family a joyful holiday season and a new year filled with health, happiness, and success. Stifel, where success meets success.
Hey guys, Dave and Rach here for our good friends at SmartMouth. So it is unique by the very definition of the word. It's the only mouth rinse out there with two chemicals that combine to prevent bad breath for 24 hours a day with just 2 rinses a day.
Never have bad breath again. You can find SmartMouth locally at Schnucks and Dierbergs or at Walgreens, Walmart, and Amazon. Visit smartmouth.com to snag a special discount on your next SmartMouth purchase. That's smartmouth.com/Glover.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable.
That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet. Unlock your e-price and save.
That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit GenesisofSt.Charles.com during the Genesis Signature Event. Based on GMA sales records for 2024. See dealer for details.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Rocking around. Chris Ranji, Amy Marks scores.
All right, what do you got, you old throttle bottom?
That's right. So I learned some new words when I was out. And throttle bottom.
They're different words than I usually teach you.
Yeah. No, usually I hear a word and then I go, hey, Ranj, what does this mean? You go, well, ugh.
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know. Throttle bottom, which initially I had said was an incompetent person in office. It's a willfully ignorant and incompetent person in public office. Well, that definition is a little bit lacking because there is an emphasis that this person is harmlessly incompetent. So throttle bottom is a derogatory term for a harmlessly incompetent person in public office. It's derived from the character Alexander Throttlebottom in the 1931 musical of Thee I Sing, and it was about Alexander Throttlebottom was a famously inept vice president.
So his name was Throttlebottom?
Yes. It describes someone futile or inept in a position of power, but, this is the big but without malice or great harm. So Throttlebottom is more bumbling. More bumbling.
Got it.
Yes.
It's not so consequential.
Vindictive and petty.
That
and
is
malicious? Yes. No. It's not consequential, vindictive, petty, or malicious. It is without malice. So it's a bumbler.
Please
There's
go.
throttle bottoms out there.
Oh, lots of throttle bottoms out there. I think they're civilian throttle bottoms, to be honest. I think we should expand the definition. You can and should actually are required, now that I think about it. Follow us on Twitter at Chris Amy KMOX. We have our Twitter poll today, and it's an important one. We thought that we would start to put our name on things since it is now the cool thing to do, apparently. You can vote of which of these St. Louis things that we should rename, and this is in honor of the president putting his name on the John F. Kennedy Center. Memorial John F. Kennedy Center. So here are your options. You have to vote for the one you like the best at Chris Amy KMOX. It is either the Chris Ranji Stan Musial Bridge, the Chris and Amy and Eads Bridge, the Chris and Amy and Thomas Eagleton Courthouse, or the Amy Marks Corps Jack Buck Memorial Highway.
So you
have to vote for the one that you like the best.
I'm going to editorialize. For some reason, by far the most offensive one is the Amy Marks Corps Jack Buck Memorial Highway. Like, that's offensive. I'm offended by it.
Wow.
It was your idea.
Well,
I find that one offensive.
If we're doing this now, I mean, why the hell not?
The one that tickles me is the Chris and Amy and Thomas Eagleton Courthouse.
Okay, so go ahead and vote at Chris Amy KMOX. You got to be following us on Twitter, and then you can vote in that poll. We're going to have the results tomorrow because it is a very short week, and we'll talk about it.
Are we doing anything for Christmas Eve? Since that's the three of us, that's our last day here.
Yeah.
Oh, because on Christmas Eve we're doing. Oh my gosh!
You hear that? Wait, hold on.
Out of nowhere.
Let's
the depths of hell.
From the depths of hell. They almost lost. Bear down, baby. In the playoffs. Clinched. Let's go.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah. My God.
You should take a picture of your Bears holly hat.
Oh, it's a great hat. I really like this hat.
The Holly Bear hat.
Yes, the Holly Berry hat. Anyway, thanks for listening to the show. Congrats to the Bears. Congrats to the Illinois State Redbirds, too. Playing for a national title January 5th.
Join us tomorrow. It's Christmas Eve.
That's right. Festivus is tomorrow. We'll be back with you at 9 o'clock on 104.1 FM KMOX.
But, this is the big but.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by University of Maryland.